Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reloading our Twitch channel to see if we are live. I hope that we are, and somebody's watching us.
Mm-hmm.
Stand to talk. Okay. What's gonna happen? Nope. Mine still says Dice Priori. Hooray.
Yeah. Still see those nerds.
Oh boy.
Wait!
Oh, are we live? Hey!
Wow.
Yes.
We are on the internet.
We are
Hi,
on
everyone.
the internet.
Wow. We are, in fact,
We are
very
on
roles
the internet.
and not
We
Dice
are.
Priori anymore, which is great and wonderful.
But not right now.
I'm Alex. Yes, true. I am Alex. I'm your dungeon master tonight. I use he/they pronouns, and I will be gently guiding everyone through Dungeon of the Mad Mage level 19, Caverns of Ooze. And I'm really excited to be here. Eugenio, do you have any creative console type wonderful things you would like to talk about?
Yeah, I can talk quickly a little bit about A Seat at the Table, who we're partnering with at the moment. They are a really awesome online magazine that is just getting off the ground. They are currently accepting submissions for their first issue. You can find information about them at asattmagazine.com, or you can follow them on Twitter at asatt_magazine. Like I said, I'll talk a little bit at the end more about what they do, but if you're curious, go check out their website right now and then come back to the stream.
Yay! All right. And with that, I feel like we can just start introducing ourselves and our characters. So I'm gonna roll D4 real fast and find out which one of you wonderful lucky souls gets to go first. And it's Kate.
Oh, hello. My name is Kate. You can find me on Twitter and everywhere important at Very Pale Ale. I am a main member of the 5e Live actual play Twitch Open for Adventure, and I'm very happy to be here. My character is not. I am playing Rinwin, the dwarven monk, who's not having a good time.
I apologize. And I mean, the slot do not apologize, but I do.
I appreciate that.
Wait, Bria, is it really hosting Dice Priori again?
Yeah.
Not for me.
I see us, so I'm gonna keep trucking as if it's us.
Yep.
All right. Zach, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Zach. You can find me on Twitter at SirGorals. That's really the only place I exist on the internet and quickly findable. I'm playing Atrian, the Paladin of Torm, who is well-meaning and kind of a little slow on the uptake. And he is also not thrilled to be here, but he was super thrilled to hear two genies sing last week.
Pretty good time.
And he's looking forward to hopefully smiting the bejesus out of some unknown monstrosity tonight.
All right, and Bria?
Hi, I'm Bria. You can find me on Twitter at Artemis Void, and I am currently playing Vialdemaris, the half-elf storm sorcerer / tempest cleric. Doesn't talk a lot, but likes to blow things up with thunder. So there's that.
Hell
That's
yeah.
a mood. That's a big mood.
Yeah, it is.
And Eugenio.
Hey everybody, I'm Eugenio Vargas, and I will be playing Zan Silveranth, our half-drow warlock hexblade, who, I don't know, has a fun accent.
It's amazing.
Not wrong. Not at all wrong.
Good.
All right, and so before we hop in, I'm going to do some avant-garde recapping here, and I'm going to go down the list alphabetically and ask you to just mention like one or two important things that happened last session, and just keep going. I imagine the order of importance will get down to some details at the end, but we're going for it to try and recap last session. So Bria, why don't you talk about some important stuff that happened last week?
I touched the thing as the first thing I did.
Stuck your hand in the ooze. You did not die.
Yes, We fell down a hole. We found a mud method. He led us to some things. I stuck my hand in a river full of ooze. Nothing happened.
All right. Wonderful. Kate, can you pick us up from there?
Yes. We went and saw the first genie. He was the dry one, and he was a bit of a butthead. He had some cool rocks, though, that beat up other buttheads. And we managed to get him to promise a single wish. And then we went to... Oh, yeah, we found out that there's something else, other than the thing that we're supposed to kill, that's supposedly super powerful and powerful enough to kill the thing. We don't know what it is, or where it is, only that it's here and it exists. That was a wonderful thing to learn.
All right, and Eugenio, why don't you pick it up from there?
So after we finished up with the dry butthead and convinced him to send his Galebdur Rocky out to take care of some space orcs for us, or orogs, or both, or something, we hopped on over to the wet butthead, who was much less of a butthead, I have to say. I liked him way more.
Oh, yeah.
I was definitely feeling him, and it definitely had nothing to do with the fact that I tricked him into granting us more. I tricked him into granting us 3 wishes, didn't I?
3 whole wishes. Yeah.
So that was cool. He had some big scary something up at the roof of his chamber that was protecting him that we sort of noticed on our way out. But basically, we went there, got him to agree to give us 3 wishes if we took care of this mysterious thing that we're after.
I made friends with the thing.
You did.
You did. You made friends with the...
Or you thought you made friends with it anyway. Who knows?
The big creature upstairs, because you can speak every language, and that includes Draconic. And Zach, why don't you round out our session last week?
So we left the Moist Wonder Genie and...
The Moist Wonder.
I regret.
I love it.
I regret nothing.
Love it so
Amazing.
And we came across the devastation that Rocky left behind. So we found like all of the Orog in their spacesuits, what was left of them anyway. Zan got a lightsaber, but lightning saber.
Oh, yeah.
We were on our way to a ship, and we found like an Independence Day style starship. Not that Adrian would know what the fuck that is. And then a bunch of Slad jumped out, and that was the whole thing. We fought them, and we fought the Peg Leg Mind Flayer space pirate captain, who almost ate our monk friend's brains.
Very close.
Did something run off with my hoverboard? Because if it did, I should be angry about that.
But I think when we killed the Mind Flayer, though, all the Slad that was left stopped moving because things that are totally not Slad control gems fell out of the Mind Flayer. And I think that's where we stopped. Right?
That is indeed where we stopped. And we will pick it up from here. Adrian, I believe you landed the killing blow on the Mind Flayer, correct?
I did.
You did. So, like I said last week, as you decapitate this Mind Flayer and the rest of its torso and appendages fall to the ground, its long black captain's cloak of a dark blue with gold sort of accessories falls to the ground, and you notice 4 fist-sized gems, all gray. 3 of them are glowing. 1 of them is not. They fall to the ground, and all the Slod stop and stare at these gems for a split second. And let's see. I'm going to take us out of initiative, but I'm also going to say that Atrian and Zan, since you're the closest ones there and you're the only ones who's noticed, this is like all connected to the gems. Could you roll me an intelligence check to see? This could be history or arcana if you're...
I actually have history.
16 for Zan.
16%. All right.
And a 17 for Atrium.
Yeah, I'll say between the two of you, you're level 16 adventurers. You're pretty powerful in your own right.
Sure.
I doubt this is even the first time you've tangled with Slod in your line of work. But you instantly notice these as control gems. And I will say, since you are the only ones in melee range, you can essentially gather these without too much resistance. They're pretty much yours for the taking.
Oh, yeah. As quickly as possible before the Slod decide they want to come get them for themselves.
Right, yeah. So you are now in possession of these 3 remaining active control gems, and all the Slod just kind of stare at you blankly.
Would you like one, my friend?
Sure.
Have a friend. Now,
I don't know how these work, though.
Well, first of all, don't put it down, like, ever. Keep it on your person, because as long as you have it, this lad... let's see. And I take the remaining 2 in my hands, and I command them to wave at us, so I know which 2 I have the control gems for.
All right, so there's one that has... I'm sorry, Bria, could you switch your name? VL, could you switch your name on here to your character name so I can have a quick reference? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
One who has VL's halberd is probably like 30 or 40 feet away from you, next to like a sort of landing leg of the ship. Just kind of waves. It's got the halberd that belongs to your friend. Just straight chilling.
Excellent.
And let's see. The other one, which is one of them, is still up in the ship itself, so it kind of pokes its head out of the little slit window. So those are 2 under your control. One in the ship and one out by the belly of the ship holding VL's halberd.
Excellent. So you see those 2, they belong to these gems. So the remaining one belongs to the gem that you hold. And as long as you have it on you, it will obey you.
Could you make one of them give me a hug?
Sure.
I've never hugged a Slod before.
I mean, I think... Okay. I command the Slod attached to my dem to hug Rinwin,
So
sorry.
The last Slod was in melee with VL and was like literally a few seconds from just raking her across the face with its giant claws, and is like dun 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 dun, because these boys are like 600 pounds at least. They're big. It walks dun 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 right up to Win-Win and just gives her a big hug, lifts her well off the ground, probably lifts her height above the ground.
Oh God.
Very satisfying hug, thank you.
Okay, put her down. Shit.
Just
Come on, you got slow fall. You're
pointing
fine.
in that general direction.
Wording is
That
important.
was worth it. That was wonderful.
It was absolutely worth it.
I would
had my
recommend
doubts,
you guys
but
give them hugs. They give very good hugs.
I don't know if I'll go that far.
They're slightly damp.
Oh.
They are frog things, so they are slightly damp.
I mean, we hung out with the moist one. I imagine everything's slightly damp down here.
That's true. You did hang out with, and I quote, the moist wonder. So
I am not sorry.
You should not be. I will say right now, you should absolutely not be.
Yes.
There's goo everywhere. It's fine.
Well, I believe that you are hurting quite a bit. We all could use a bit of a breather, if I'm not mistaken. So you return the halberd to my friend, please.
Dun, 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 dun. Extends a
Excellent.
hand with the halberd to you, VL.
If any of you know of a good place, a good secure place, perhaps an alcove somewhere nearby where we might rest for a spell while the 3 of you keep a watch for us, no?
The 2 Slod that you control both sort of like point to the sort of like the back of the ship, but not the lower level. So they point like a little up a bit towards the ship. You know, like the crew quarters are up there. There are beds.
Ah,
The
fantastic.
ship is empty.
The ship is empty.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to have a conversation about that later, but for now, why don't you lead us to your quarters? We'll take a little nap, a little rest, a little siesta, and then we'll continue on.
Of course. The slide nearest you lifts its wrist, and of course it has a wrist communicator because it came from a spaceship. Doo-doo.
Of course.
And a sort of like small elevator almost descends, like a little flat basket for you to just step in and be taken into the ship.
Fantastic. To be very clear, there are no more of you here, right?
No.
Nothing else here that might threaten us while we're resting.
No.
Okay, I believe you because you will have to deal with them if there are. Also because you literally have to tell me the truth, so it's fine.
Yeah, so the slide just kind of nod and patiently wait where you left them.
All right. Shall we, friends, take a little rest? They're going to keep a watch. Shall we? Yes?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Sure.
Yes, please.
This seems totally safe.
I mean, as safe as we're going to get down here, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Adrian looks really uncomfortable the whole time.
That's
I'm
fair.
just
That is entirely fair.
to use all of my hit dice.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Uh,
But so as you ascend, so you get into the little elevator, the slob watch you, and beep, 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 beep. You're brought up, and you're actually brought up into the what looks like a cargo hold. You've all been on boats before. This must be the same principle. It's at the bottom of the vessel, and it's filled with boxes of things. So safe to assume this is a cargo hold. You just see lots of these sort of like essentially metal containers just all over the place. They're mostly unmarked. And out by the far end, sort of like way, I don't know, like fucking port and starboard. So
Port's
out
left.
on port's left. All right, sure. So out on the starboard side, then you see sort of like this big blocked off area. Henny, you can just like automatically read all writing, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's not a perfect translation, but you get the gist that this is essentially like a prisoner holding cell.
Ah.
So this sort of blocked off area on the starboard side, and you do also notice because it's pretty simply laid out. There's a set of stairs leading up towards the back. You assume towards the crew's quarters, as the slot indicated.
Mm-hmm. What's in the boxes, my friends?
Oh, did you want them to follow you there?
Oh,
Follow you
yeah.
up?
Yes, they should come with us. They're going to have to keep watch outside of their quarters.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So they
Sorry, I was
yeah.
not clear.
So sure. No, it's all good. So yeah, they've the two slot because the other one was like up in the like peephole shooting at you.
All right. You can meet us there.
Yeah. So it points out like a box over sort of like a couple of feet from you. It's basically like right up to your right. It's like that one contains a healing potion.
Oh.
It points out to like a few over there. Those contain rations. They are spoiled. Points out to one like way back, sort of towards the left a bit. There's like this one contains confiscated goods.
Oh, confiscated from who?
Contraband.
Confiscated from a gnome, a small creature.
Interesting.
What goods?
Goods that we intended to sell.
Hmm.
We confiscated them from a single person craft.
Hmm. Okay.
Are your
Receiving
healing
the-
potions just healing potions, or do you have other things in that?
Yes, are there
pile?
any of those?
Yeah, so one of the slot, because they're not dumb, so they
No, of
know
course.
that you're all kind of collectively its bosses.
Sure.
So one of them walks up to the box that it said contained healing potion. It was like bang right on top, and then it opens up like a little drawer, and there are blue pellets, probably like yay big. These will heal you if you consume them.
How many? Sorry. Nice. Well, friends, we should all take one, I think.
Yes,
You
please.
have
I
been
agree.
most helpful, my amphibious friend.
We have quite literally no choice.
I realize this, but you could, have been an asshole about, like, somebody that's not holding your gem, asking a question, and you wait till I tell you to answer, but you're being very cooperative. I appreciate it.
All right, so these healing potions heal 2d4 plus 2 hit points, and there's evidently one for each of you.
How
Convenient.
convenient. Excellent. Well, if there's nothing else that might be of interest to us here in this cargo hold, I think we'll continue on to the quarters, yes?
Prisoner has seen the creature.
Prisoner.
There's-
Oh, that's right. We said there
There's a brig.
there is a brig.
Yeah, we pointed off to the starboard side.
Yes.
Well, I guess you couldn't read it, so it's
Right.
here.
I was just.
No, oh yes,
basically-
sorry, right. That's my fault. I apologize. Yes, that I forget. That it doesn't matter. So yes, there is a brig. Apparently, there is a prisoner there who has seen the creature. What do we think? Do we want to like take a little break first, refresh ourselves before we interrogate a prisoner? Do we want to go straight there? What are we
We
thinking?
can just have a nice chat with the prisoner, right? Like we don't have to interrogate him.
That's
Her.
The
mostly pretty
interrogated
much what I said.
prisoner pulls out a dagger and Rinwin dies. That's
I
on
need
you.
a nap, please.
I mean, to be fair, the last prisoner that I had to talk to was a mind flayer who tried to kill us all. So
No more of those, please.
Yeah, maybe let's take the rest first. I know we've got
Yeah.
our friends with us to help, but maybe let's take a little rest first.
prisoner's not going anywhere, right?
Oh no, I don't think so. He's secure. He she. What are we talking about? What race? Who's in there?
I believe the creature is genderless.
Excellent. Race.
They kind of pause to like meditate on this for a second. Like, what is it? We have not seen a creature of this kind before.
Oh,
boy.
good.
Okay,
It's
we're
a
gonna have a
mystery.
we're gonna have a whole little thing about these later. But for
Oh.
now, let's take a rest.
Nap time,
All right, sure.
please.
So as you head up, like I said, there's a set of stairs that is easily visible. As you head up, you notice that the ship is not entirely empty because you pass a dead orog on the way.
Oh.
And it's sort of covered in these like you know how like mold gets all like feathery, like certain types of mold. It's like all kind of soft and feathery. Yeah, so it's like that, and you notice that where the mold is growing,
Nope.
the orog is sort of dissolving into this nondescript greenish brown ooze.
Mm.
So
That-
it's turning into
No.
giant soup. Okay.
Is it? I assume that's not, but does it look natural at all?
Roll an intelligence check.
Great.
Do a little.
If I had known that there was going to be this much ooey
So-
gooey stuff,
Could I argue for medicine?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you
I
do
mean,
that.
I'm.
argue.
I don't have any idea. I got an 11.
You got a what?
I got an 11.
I mean, you don't know what happens in space, and
Right.
they're from space, but granted, mold typically isn't something you see on corpses, at least not in like sealed environments. So it's kind of weird, but it's space, so
I'll make a medicine check.
sure.
All I
Oh,
know
you
about
know what I
space is
don't have?
No
My
one can
God.
screen.
Hang on.
Nah,
That's-
all
It's
good.
behind me. It's behind me. It's fine. Gotta get there.
D&D Beyond, you guys.
It's wonderful. D&D Beyond is the most amazing, spectacular, wonderful thing that I've ever seen. And with my keyboard.
Hashtag vote for Liam.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Whoa. Whoa. I mean, I would also like to vote with my Johnson. It's fine.
Ah,
All right.
love it.
Hey.
Okay, first roll is a 14.
14. Yeah, I'll say this is safe to assume this is not natural. This is not regular. You probably know a little more about space and that things don't typically tend to grow there. So, it's pretty safe to assume it's weird.
So this is weird, you guys.
Okay. All right.
It wasn't before. It is
Yeah.
now.
What happened to him? I asked the slot.
The creature came in contact with the ooze.
Wait.
I just look at VL.
Did it come in contact with the ooze before or after it died?
Before.
Mm.
No, I'm not your typical one, but I am a cleric. I assume I can keep myself from. I'm not gonna finish that sentence.
Okay.
So do you want to like cast a spell? Do you want to? What do you want to do?
I want to go take it. Well, I don't really care about the nap, but the monk wants to take a nap. And if we're gonna have to fight some fungus, we should do it rested.
Please.
I mean, I could just
We'll
heal
just
you.
keep it very short.
I mean, if you want to, but I feel like that would be a waste when I can just sleep.
Sure, and I would rather have that available for, I don't know. We're surely not going to fight some terrible beast soon.
Definitely
Hey.
no. Yeah, we'll just keep it short in case this grows bigger while we're resting. But yeah, let's go do that. It feels like
Bedtime.
somebody's trying to stop us from taking a short rest. There's a lot of interruptions on the way.
I have a spell that takes 10 minutes, but if you'd rather just sleep, then
I mean, I'll do the 10 minutes and then I'll sleep. And then between the two of us, I will be good to go, right as rain.
I want it like I know keep restores on short rest, but like you're fine. You don't need to do the nonsense about that.
Huh?
Didn't you just say you're gonna take a short rest and then a long rest?
No.
No.
10 minutes?
10 minutes is for some spell that VL has.
Oh, okay.
Ritual
Yeah.
cast.
Apologize. Never mind then.
So yes, do your magic hocus pocus, and then I will take a snooze. It'll be a snoozing.
Are we taking our short rest now?
You guys are welcome to do whatever you like.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna spend 3 hit dice then.
Yes, let's take a short rest. We're gonna go gonna go to the chambers. We're gonna rest.
All right. So, fortunately, you see no other creatures, living or dead, on your way to the crew's quarters. The crew's quarters themselves are a bit Spartan, although they're still kind of weird. The beds are all like perfectly rectangular. There's one uniform gray sheet over each one. You've got a sort of like perfectly rectangular box of a pillow. It's a little weird, not what you're used to, but hey, it's comfortable enough, I suppose. Good as any tavern you'd find on the road.
is there any water on the ground?
No, there's no water on the ground. It's pretty dry. There's metal on the ground, so there's a bit of clank, especially from Atrian in his big plate armor. There's a good bit of clank coming from that, but beyond that, not really.
Good acoustics in here. Clank, clank.
Ha. So yeah, everyone taking a short rest?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Mhm.
All right, roll your hit dice
We'll keep
and
it short.
refresh your spells and class abilities. What do you got, Vio?
Actually, the first thing I'd want to do when I get into the room is I'd sit on the middle of the floor,
Mhm.
probably pop the cap off my water skin, and just like do my weird ass storm sorcerer shit and just like mess around with the water a bit. Maybe just like make a tiny little whirlpool or something, just something to concentrate on. And I'm gonna cast Prayer of Healing.
Okay, sure. So that, yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, guys. So that is a good 16 points to
Nice.
anyone and everyone who needs it.
Yeah.
Excellent. That will help.
Thank you. Back to full.
Alrighty, Rue.
Cool. I'm gonna use a lot of my hit dice.
Go right on ahead.
Cool. We're not gonna have another chance for a short rest at any point, are we? No. Hey,
I wound up spending 4 of my hit dice just for
I'm gonna
reference.
use one and hope I get a high enough roll that I don't have to use anymore. Although it really wouldn't hurt if I did.
all right. I only used 11 hit dice.
Coño.
But 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11 hit dice. But I'm back at full, and I still have my monk ability to get a whole bunch of health back at once.
Oh, wholeness of body.
Yeah.
Yep, that is enough to get.
I
I'm
have
saving that for the fight.
I have 80 points worth of lay on hands healing available too. So
Nice.
Shit.
Nice.
paladins, yo.
Yep.
Whoop whoop.
Okay.
So,
Should
I
All
we...
right, VL, are you all
Actually,
recharged and ready to go?
I just don't necessarily know how to work this character sheet, so I'm just gonna type over the number in the box.
All right, that is totally fine. And yeah, so everyone takes a quick nap, quick siesta, and you wake up after your rest, and there you are.
Well, to interrogate the prisoner next, yes? How do we feel? What do we think?
Yes, go ask them some questions. Ask them some questions.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What I will do is, let's see. No, it only lasts a minute, so I will wait until we get to the prison cell to do that.
Well,
So-
now I'm intrigued.
So you're all just heading down to the prison cell?
Yes, please, with
Yep.
the slads in tow, if you don't mind.
All right, sure. So the door sort of like lifts vertically up, and you see the slot. They're standing guard with their little fireball grenade launchers, just kind of waiting. And they see you go. They see you walk, and they're just thud, 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 right behind you.
They're so
And-
good for intimidation when we're doing the interrogation.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be the talker then?
Just be nice.
Oh, I couldn't possibly. But sure.
If you insist.
I can. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I clap a hand on her shoulder and cast guidance.
Oh. I feel all
Neat.
tingly.
I can, if we feel like the prisoner is trying to give us the runaround, I can try to force them to tell the truth.
Ooh, we have so much at our disposal. This will be my favorite interrogation in some time.
All right. So as you head down, the slot clearly hear you talking about the prisoner. Would you like us to open the brig, sir?
Please and thank you.
Of course. Beep, beep, beep. Are you all? You're pretty much all just like standing in front of it, right?
To be clear, is the prisoner secured inside, or are they going to rush out at us?
Again, they consider this. They ponder this.
What in the hell is this thing?
Maybe it's nice.
The prisoner is no danger.
Okay, open it up.
Beep, beep, beep. So as the sort of like, and this is like a three-dimensional like wall. So this is very, they're very secure. And you notice it's thicker than most of the other walls where they had been like probably like 6 inches or so of metal. This is like 1.5 feet of just like solid, whatever the hell kind of metal they're using to move through space. So this whole sort of cell block lifts, and the first thing you notice is this big green light from some sort of like fluid that is also stored in there in a tank. And out of the shadow cast in this light, you see this big orb, probably like 10 to 13 feet in diameter, a total across. And then you just notice just stalks, just little thin stalks coming up, and they just all sort of look straight at you.
Atrian leaves. No, he doesn't.
I jog just a little bit ahead of everyone and just hold my halberd out horizontally, just blocking them all back.
All right. So as you
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, please, by all means.
So as you get close, Vio, you notice that this isn't actually a beholder. This is a sort of really weird cloud almost of spores. And as you run forward in your haste to protect everyone, you you inhale a little bit of them.
Okay, let you know.
Oh no.
And so let me quickly.
And to think I was doing that so I could cast a spell.
All right. So you have a series of almost flashbacks, but they're clearly not your own. You remember chasing something through a forest. It's a dense forest, and someone has something, but it's yours. And you need to get it back. You won't be whole until you get it back. And you chase and you chase, and you'll get her. You will get her. She's just a little bit up ahead. You can hear her. And she trips. And then you come over her and you see the fear and the panic in her eyes. You begin to laugh because you know you've got her. You've got what's yours. A fire, a burning magic that's alien even to your own rises up in you. And there's a bright green flash. Then you see another, just like you, a little smaller, a little more red in color, kind of a purple, rather than your lustrous, magnificent, and pure blue. This is its territory. But you're better. Nothing it could do could possibly compare to your wondrous magnificence, your mastery of yourself, of magic, and of your environment. You see every possibility, thousands upon thousands of potential moves your opponent could make. You see everything you could possibly do, and you know exactly how your opponent will respond. But your opponent does too. Mm-hmm. It's just like you. But it grabs you with its one of its eye rays. It's a telekinetic ray. You have one too. And it throws you straight up against the cavern wall. And rather than get right up, you feign defeat. And just like you, it floats right up and begins to lord over you, to monologue about its greatness.
Fucking beholders, man.
And that's when you catch it. Your fourth eye lifts up in a flash. Your green beam leaps out.
Ooh.
And there's a pile of fresh, hot ash on the ground. Last thing you notice is a sort of poof. That's new. You've never traveled that way before. And suddenly you're sitting in this cavern staring at this weird, muddy, winged thing. It's got this long, flat, unusual face. It speaks in an unusual accent, calls itself Eugene. This is all very unusual. It tells you a wet one and a dry one and all of this nonsense. Killing a creature.
Son of a bitch.
And you're told that the way to get to this creature and the way to get to your freedom is to speak to the crew of this ship. And you go there and you speak to this captain. You know what that is. That's a mind flayer. You've dealt with them enough. The mind flayer expresses its doubts that you would ever be able to conquer whatever is in that vault. The last thing certainly didn't, but it let you in. It also assures you that if you fail, it won't let anything in. Whatever's in this safe, sure, it'll get out eventually. And it'll swallow the whole goddamn world if it can. But it'll buy it as much time as it can. If it's trapped for 80 years, that's another 80 years better than what would happen if it got loose. So it tells you to tell your masters, whatever happens next, this is the last time someone goes in.
Oh, Lord. Well.
It sends a slot to go open this big crashed up vault that seems like it detached from the spaceship upon landing. It lifts a sort of like weird orb of a key. It's like an orb with a little cylinder coming out of it. It sticks it in to this big metal surface, commits some series of maneuvers of this object, which you notice, and these three circles kind of roll out of each other. And you go inside. The rest of it's a bit fuzzy. It's very dark. But there are so many eyes. You have a lot of eyes, but there are just so many. There are so many eyes and so much muck and grime, and all of it burns and stings. As you're swallowed whole, you notice the bones of a dragon.
At least we don't have to worry about that.
Tough as this thing may be, dragon bones
Don't have
are
to worry about that.
so hard as ever to dissolve. Tough as this thing may be, dragon bones. And as you fade away as you're swallowed whole by this force, this sea of ooze. You spent your whole life in paranoia, fear. Even though you're dying, this might be as close to peace as you ever get.
Oh, God.
And you are shocked back into reality as the dreams vanish.
Great.
Adrian's just like shaking. Vito, wake up!
Please don't touch me.
She's back.
That was
They're
like,
back. They're fine.
so long. Oh, God.
One, Umberly dragging me down to the depths of the ocean seems a lot more pleasant than what I just experienced.
Ooh.
Two,
Ooh.
yeah, I just got treated to the entire life of that thing, which was the ghost of the thing that died.
Oh.
The
So,
prisoner must have been consumed by the ooze.
Oh, what?
yeah, that thing we're supposed to fight, it ate that. Well, do I know what a beholder is?
Ah, yeah, sure.
Sure. It ate the beholder.
Just...
It ate the dragon.
Oh, my.
Wait, that was a
Well, it was.
That's we're the third. I guess that was the second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you... Go ahead. No, go ahead, please.
No, I have nothing positive to say.
I don't either, so you know.
I would like to go home now.
I'm fairly certain we have to complete the thing.
Well, that one was promised the way to go home. Killed the thing.
Yes, same as us. So wait a minute. When you said it ate the beholder, what do you mean it ate the beholder?
Like lots of
the last moments of that beholder's life were in that thing's stomach.
So it's like a monster with teeth and a mouth and
he just swallowed it whole or what? I mean,
did it like absorb it like that really cool like magnetic oozy thing?
Oh God, no!
Are we fighting a giant like gray ooze or something?
Ugh,
it's
gross.
Something in a giant vault.
If I may.
Please, by all means, you've been so helpful before. Also, just for the record, like, I don't really need a last servant. I can speak for my friend here, but the two of you, if we survive this and you help us out, I mean, I can give you your control gems back, just so you know.
They kind of like...
look, I do feel like the whole if we survive is a big if, so, like, maybe don't get your hopes up too much right now.
Yeah, it's real big.
Have to not try to kill us, though.
I mean, that would also be appreciated. Anyway, sorry, you were going to say something probably really important. Go ahead.
We were unaware that this creature could release the magic bonds that held the cargo in. It escaped, and it was covered in the ooze. It returned here. We quarantined it, and it seems it has died.
So it wasn't this when you left it.
No.
This is okay. Viel, do you still have your hand?
Viel, you do have two whole hands.
How long ago did the beholder go after the thing? How long has it been?
check their little wrist communicator. Now that you think of it, you don't really know how long you've been down here. It's all dark and black and underground. So, eh?
You have watches. You should be able.
11 days.
So keep an eye on your hand, VL. I'd hate for it to turn to a spore hand.
Well, anyway, before that extremely invasive experience, I would like to. Could you? 2 questions. 1, are those slot things going to be fighting for us? 2, if they're not, can you get them to go away, preferably out within 30 feet, farther than that?
I mean, I was planning on having them assist us. Yes. You know, now that I told them I'm gonna free at least 2 of them, I feel like they'll fight extra strong. You know.
Yeah. Well.
But I can have a move if you would prefer. What are you gonna do? Not that I don't trust you, but maybe I don't trust you. What are you gonna do?
That's fair.
I only ask because, you know, you put your hand in the thing, you breathe the thing. It feels like there's a lot of impulsive decisions. I'm just curious what we're about to do.
I just have a lot more faith in myself than I do other people.
No, look, I mean, I love it. Somebody's got to do it. Don't get me wrong. But do you have is there a spell that you want to cast, or why do I need to move them out? Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
It doesn't matter. I can only do it on 3 people, so.
Okay.
I cast 8 on all 3 of you.
Oh, that's nice.
At 3rd level.
Ooh, that feels good. What is that, 15? No, 10? What is it?
10 to your hit point max, 10 temporary hit points.
Yay, I need all of those.
All right, so.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Mark up your character sheets.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
So.
For the next 8 hours, not that we know what time it is.
That's true.
I'll say you have a vague idea of how long it lasts. I bet you can like feel when you have magic going on.
Sure.
So, do we know if it when it ate the beholder, did it chomp the beholder? Did it tentacle mouth drag it in, eat the beholder? Did it just envelop it with ooze the beholder?
Are you really asking me to go back into my psyche to relive?
I mean, I feel like it's really important if we know if it has a mouth or not.
I feel like from what the slot have said and what BL described, I think it's pretty safe to assume that it's more amorphous than that. I think it probably absorbed it. Does that feel about right, Slot? Because you have some experience with what happens, right?
The creature came back whole and covered in ooze. We quarantined it. It now is this. And it points at the cloud of spores, which have now unsettlingly dispersed.
Okay, we should go. I had these conversations somewhere else because we need to close this brig nice and tight.
You guys, I don't know if I can't punch blobs. I've tried to punch blobs before. It doesn't work well. It's like punching Jello. It's not very satisfying and not very effective. I don't know that I can punch whatever this is, and that's all I do is punch things.
Claude, do you have an energy weapon for her?
They hand you an energy longsword, because that's what they're equipped with. Not longsword, greatsword. I apologize.
Oh, something tells me you're not going to be very good with that, but okay.
I mean, I'm a dwarf. Please.
Yes,
okay.
Now equipped with an energy greatsword.
Yay, that's a +2, right?
I don't know.
Yes, +2 energy greatsword.
I don't know if slashing at a blob will be any more effective than punching it, but...
How about exploding it into at least 265 pieces?
That probably works.
That's so specific.
Unless they just turn into little versions of them, and then we have to fight 256 little nightmare blobs. That would be bad.
Oh no.
Well, I have a lot of uses of the spell shatter. So.
Oh, good.
As we were aware of it, the creature was not sufficiently harmed by the fire-breathing dragon, if that assists.
Doesn't make us feel better.
Now we know. I was pretty
Noise.
optimistic at the beginning of this. I'm not very optimistic anymore.
Well, can you lead us to the vault? If we're ready, I don't know what other preparations we might wish to make.
We are not equipped with the key.
Oh god, how do we get the key?
The captain stored it somewhere. We were not entrusted with it.
Okay. Maybe to the captain's quarters then? Can you take us there?
Thud, thud, thud. They just start going.
Fantastic. No, I appreciate it. It's efficient. I like it about them. I really do. No, I do. It's good.
So yeah, there's a lot of thud, and it's actually more of a, like I said, it's more of a clank here, because of all the metal floors and the slots, sort of like space boots. But they lead you up to the second floor, and they walk you basically straight down this long hallway, and you notice like a couple of like control rooms, like there's a room for like aiming and firing a cannon. Like it's neat, I guess.
Shoot the cannon. I don't know. Whatever. Okay.
And eventually they bring you up to the bridge, and the captain's quarters is directly below. This is the bridge where he commands from. And you notice like pretty much this big sort of semicircular window that gives you pretty much a 180-degree view, maybe a bit more than that. There's this big central sort of like board in the front that curves along the window. All of the like glass and stuff is just all dark. Although you do notice at the front, there are these two sort of columns that have these sort of like depressions in them that match vaguely what Mind Flayer's hand would look like.
Mm.
So it appears that that might be how the ship is controlled. And beyond that, that's pretty much what you see. Is there are a couple of chairs and stuff for look like connected to other sort of like semicircular workspaces, but beyond that, that's essentially what you see in here.
Any idea where he store the key?
Are you speaking to this lad?
To this lad, I'm sorry, yes.
No, we were not entrusted with that information.
That's fair enough.
Is there an underwear drawer anywhere?
They look at you dead in the face. We were not entrusted with that information.
Do Mind Flayers wear underwear?
We were not entrusted with that information.
I assume everyone that wears pants wears
A
underwear.
rhetorical question.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go look for the underwear drawer.
Okay.
All right, so that'll be downstairs. Like they indicated, the captain's quarters are downstairs, and this is the bridge.
Oh.
Should we search? Why don't we split up here and search the bridge first, and then we can go look in the captain's underwear drawer.
I'm kind of interested in what Illithid wear.
I am not at all.
It's very interesting to think about.
I don't find myself saying this a ton, but actually I agree with the monk. I'm kind of curious myself.
Right? It's an interesting question. We have an opportunity here.
Yeah, you know. So let's look around here. Even if we find the key, maybe we'll take a little peek in the drawer downstairs.
I agree.
Wonderful. So who wants to do the rolling, and how do you want to search?
Gods. Not me.
I'm not good at this.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
What are we necessarily looking for?
Are we perception or investigationing?
Oh, perception is good. Investigation
well, how do you want to
-1.
Right, so, it's a good question.
Like you're just kind of taking a step back, like looking around, or are you gonna like methodically like, okay, well this looks like the place, like stuff like that.
We're looking for the key, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're looking for the key, and VL, you know what it looks like.
Yes.
You saw it. It's
right.
that it's the sphere with the cylinder sticking out of it.
So I'm just going to look for anything that like has the general silhouette of that. So can I use perception for that?
Sure, yeah.
And if you tell me what it, like, if you describe it to me, maybe I can help you.
Didn't you say that it was like a circular thing with a little stick sticking out of one end?
Yeah. That's right.
It might really be in the Illithid's underwear.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Wow! That is good.
Now we really gotta go look.
Is good.
That is a 22 for perception.
Adrian would like a modified memory spell,
All
please.
right.
Ah! I almost took that spell. I don't think I ended up taking it, but I almost did.
God. So Viel, you sort of kind of your perception, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you take a step back and you're like, okay, what's in here? You don't notice the silhouette of the key, but you notice a couple of like storage lockers on the like back wall on the left and right side. And I assume you go open them, correct?
I turn back to the others first and I say, is it worth trashing a spell to actually just find this? Because I do have locate option.
Oh, interesting. No, I don't think we're really in a hurry. I mean, I for one, am not in a big hurry to get eaten by some sort of ooze. So.
I agree.
Lockers it is. Come on.
Okay.
All right. So which one, left or right?
Oh, it's personally not going to be me. My investigation is -1.
All right.
No, mine too.
All right.
So-
I'll go open the one on the right. What is yours, Mr. Paladin?
Just dice.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go open the one on the right, and somebody can open the one on the left if you want.
Sure, I'll open the one on the left.
Okay, great.
All right.
I'll
Can I
help.
just say I love how our straight roll is like the second highest.
I'll go help the paladin look. So you get
Okay.
advantage.
Looking on the left, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. So we'll start with the right. Sand, you open up the door on the right, and you notice, oddly enough, a bunch of like pigments and paintbrushes. And a few sort of scroll cases tucked away, and they look not like the rest of the ship. So the rest of the ship is all metal and green lights and Independence Day. This is like something like hand tooled, made out of like a leather, an organic material.
Well, I don't think this is the key, but I'm certainly gonna look at what it is.
All right, so you pop it open. There are 3 scroll cases in total, and the first one shows an unusual sort of like alien landscape.
Oh.
You look at this sort of like orangey red sky with a sun so much smaller than yours out somewhere in the distance. It looks like almost pretty much a star, but there are very few other stars in the sky. There's a city almost looks like it's made of mirrors out in the distance somewhere. You see these enormous purple cliffs off to what you assume would be the east if you're looking at this to the north.
Sure.
And there's this weird sort of like bluish green grass. And this sort of grazing creature with 3 legs and a snout.
What in the hell? I don't suppose any of it looks at all familiar to me.
No, this is like, this is whack.
Yeah, okay.
You wouldn't see this shit if you were on acid.
Right. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, weird. There are 2 others, right?
Mhm.
Okay, let's look at the next one.
All right, so the next one, comfortingly, maybe. It looks a little more familiar. This actually looks like a dragon, but not like one you've ever seen. This is enormous, and it is, again, set against one of these big purple cliffs, but it looks like it's made of like space and starlight itself. There's this sort of like dust that's just swirling around it. It's a black body with these little pinpricks of light shining out, and it's just sort of like diving off this cliff, wings tucked in, and it's expelling some sort of like weird shimmery blue gas or breath weapon. But it's sort of like this very active dive of a dragon that you're looking
Did
at.
we die and go to Midgard? Is that a void dragon?
That is definitely a void dragon.
That's awesome. Okay, well, that's super unsettling to Zan, because she don't know what it is. What's next?
The final thing you notice is this very dark environment, and there are 6 different rings of light that are all sort of like descending towards this one central circular platform or dais in the depressed middle of this room, and in that is just this floating brain.
Oh, hell
These
no.
tendrils just kind of like
Hell no.
stuck into it, like the veins, the arteries and the veins into this brain. And you just see all of these worshippers with their hands lifted high, communing and engaging with this brain in this black room, all standing on these white lit rings that are coming up from the bottom. And they're all mind players.
Okay, I regret everything. What's in the one on the left?
What horrors do we get?
The one on the left does not belong to the captain. That contains one sort of like grenade launcher that you saw the Slod wield.
Oh, this isn't horrifying at all.
Yeah.
Well.
So it's sort of like a grenade launcher. I don't know. You've probably never shot like a rifle or literally anything like this. So you're holding this like, what does this do? I saw the Slod use this. How does this work? Pointing like a barrel at your face.
This must be where the thing comes out.
Yeah, right?
Maybe not.
So, yeah, you see one of those. You see a couple more energy weapons. They seem to be types you've encountered before. Lots of swords, as they make pretty decent energy weapons as far as shapes of things go. I think you're going to find a warhammer in an energy weapon. You see a battle axe, and it looks like a sort of like emergency weapons closet. Nothing more.
Well, key's not in here. Oh, that's a nice painting, Zan.
Don't look too closely.
It's
It's well done. It's a high quality, but it's no. Ooh, no.
Yeah, to be fair, they are all very well painted.
Yeah.
Like
well,
this is good art. Granted, it's horrifying, but it's good art.
I mean, you know, it's a shame he died, but these are gonna be worth a lot more now that we killed him. So. Okay. Well, looks like we get to take a trip to the underwear drawer.
Oh gods. I really don't want to find the thing that got mentioned.
Look, I just found a picture of a bunch of mind flayers worshipping their elder brain. It can't get much worse than that. I shouldn't have said
I
that.
think a mind flayer sex toy is worse.
You're right.
It's a key? I'm looking for a key. What are you guys looking for?
The key! Absolutely the key.
Becky, she's
Key
so
to the back
precious.
door.
We're gonna go down to
Did
the.
you say the key to the back door?
Oh yes.
I'm so mad.
You asked for it. You asked for it. So the slots sort of like indicate the sort of like control columns, like we are unable to access the captain's quarters.
Why?
Without our control gems, we are not capable of complex enough thought.
What?
Can you take us to the door?
Yeah, they sort of bring you up to the mind flayer's control columns,
Oh,
and you
control
notice that there's sort of like this square of metal that's disconnected from the rest. You would guess that looks like the elevator that brought you into the cargo hold.
Okay.
Is there any writing or anything on this door?
Not in any language you can read.
Well,
What about that I can't read?
that's
Captain's quarters, but that's it.
You're the worst.
I mean, what do you think it's gonna say?
I don't know. You push this button 3 times to get down here.
Is that
Up,
what you
up,
keep
down,
reading
down,
as
left,
you
right,
go?
left,
Yeah.
right, A, B, A, B. I don't know.
Yes.
Does,
Konami code. That's it.
does it look?
You're correct for the
We
case.
beat the game.
But
It looks
no,
like it's
unfortunately.
manual controls or like audio controls, like voice activated or something.
stick shift door.
Psionic codes.
Oh, that's brainwave.
Oh, no.
I touched the door.
Nothing.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Nothing. The
Oh.
captain uses the control columns to access his quarters.
Oh, no.
The what now?
At the front of the room, there are 2 control columns with
What
those sort
if-
of depressions that sort of shaped like mind flayer hands.
Now, hear me out, because this is 100% cuckoo.
Go back to his body, cut his hands off.
Oh, I was... That actually, yeah, that's better. I was gonna drag his whole body here, but if we just took the hands, that might work.
I'm
Could I try and put my own hands in my little dwarf hands? Like in the like I want to try and make it work.
They're a bit long because mind flayers are like 7 feet tall on average.
It's fine.
So you're kind of
It's
like,
fine.
actually make a strength check because this is basically like a pull up for you.
I'm a please.
Hilarious.
So athletics check then, or
Yeah,
acrobatics?
make an athletics check because this is basically like a wide pull up you got to do.
Okay, I pole vaulted off of the side of a ship like an hour ago. Especially when roll a natural 19.
Oh, great! So you're like, I could get this. And so you're like holding yourself up like the ring people, the people who do the rings in the Olympics. So you're just like standing yourself on your magnificent guns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
But as you have your hands in these depressions, like I said, it doesn't fit quite right. It's longer, but there's sort of like this, almost like a buzzing. Your head feels fuzzy as you put your hands into these depressions.
I would like to imagine what possibly an illithid could have to think to open the door. I'm going to think open really, really loudly in my brain.
The impending psychic damage this is going to lead to.
Fine. It'll be fine.
A intelligence check.
Check? Okay.
Is she Rinwin get a nosebleed?
Now I am discovering the downfalls of having a party full of dumb people.
It's fine. I rolled a 16, but it's a -1.
So 15 total. All right.
What happens when intelligence is everyone's dumb stat?
You get a real bad headache.
Yeah.
Like it's like, nope, don't like that. Like that Michael Scott gift. Don't like that. Just like that. You're like, don't like that.
Okay. Well,
but that's pretty much all you get.
Door doesn't open.
It budged a little, but it certainly didn't descend. Yeah, it did budge a little.
I moved it. I'm not gonna do that again. And I like hopped down. I moved it. I don't know. I moved it.
I moved a mind flayer ship once before with. I'll try.
Just think open, really loud.
Really different. So
two of the slod look to each other as you say, "I'll try." This should be interesting.
Oh, all right, you two, peanut gallery.
Aren't they supposed to not have personality?
So much for no complex thought.
Atrian tries.
All right, you don't have to vault yourself up onto it, but can you roll me an intelligence check?
Yeah, I can roll one.
Not so defeated.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's not a 1.
Okay.
It's
it is a whole 8.
Oh no.
That can be good.
You take 24 points of psychic.
Okay.
Grab it. I got this. Boom, boom. And you just get like it's almost like you've been shocked. It hurts so bad, and you just like immediately sort of like seize up. Your brain can't even tell your muscles to let go.
Oh, good.
Okay.
So just.
But you do eventually kind of recover and like.
I tap Zan with the butt of my halberd.
Yes, I know, but here's my concern
You
because
said 24,
No.
right?
Actually,
Yes, 24 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
if we cut off the hands, we still don't have the brain.
right, exactly.
I could bring him back to life, but I don't really want to fight
I
that
don't want
fucker
you to
again.
do that. Okay, but maybe I'm gonna try. I know, but we need the
doozy.
key, and if this doesn't work, I have another plan, but I'd rather not do it that way.
I just have a headache. It's fine.
Okay. Hey, Viel.
Yeah?
Maybe a little guidance to help me out?
Sure. I
You look
vaguely
so
smack
defeated.
her on the back of the head.
Okay. You were so much nicer about it last time.
Yeah, but this is a bad idea.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I don't know what else we're gonna... I mean, I do know what else we're gonna do, but I only have a few spells left, and I don't want to use one for these.
I just had that thought too.
That's a big move.
Okay. So she's gonna go up. She's gonna give a little bit of these.
All right.
She's gonna look. She's gonna take a deep breath. She's gonna put up her hands in, and she's just gonna think real hard about opening that door.
All right, sure. So roll your intelligence check.
Oh, hi.
Plus your d4.
Ha! Oh, well, the D4 was shit, but that's a natural 20 plus a 1, and I got a 1 more on my intelligence as a 22.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So you're thinking real hard, and you're thinking hard, and you hear, and then you forget. Wait a minute, Mind Flayer's levitating. You just plummet,
Oh, shit. Okay, well, that's fair enough.
just like.
No, that's fair.
It's literally like 10 feet. You're fine. There's no damage associated.
Great.
It's startling though.
Yeah, no, I'm not real pleased about it.
I'd
You
roll.
better not warn
I'd
me,
touch and
Slad.
roll.
Really?
Hey,
You know what?
Adrian, aren't you
I
grabbing
bet
her
you
little
haven't
stick?
laughed in a really long time. Go
Yeah,
ahead and laugh at me.
I'll get her.
Okay, you can stop. That's really upsetting. No, don't do that anymore.
I'll help Zan up.
All right, sure. So you're
fun.
all heading down to the captain's quarters.
Hmm.
Yeah, watch your step. It's a bit of a doozy.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a 10-foot descent, but it's mostly fine. Like it's literally just like this sort of like there's the control columns in the middle of this flat surface, and then down below there's a flat surface. There's not a lot of hazards. It's literally just a drop from one flat plane to another.
Okay.
So there's a deafening clang as I
Yeah,
land.
right. I love it.
Okay, let's look for the illicit sex key.
Where's
Yeah.
the wardrobe?
Don't want to take any more
Right.
psychic damage today.
Professor.
So in this room, you notice again, there's another for the looking straight on ahead of you. There's another big sweeping 180-degree view of what's directly in front of you. Off to the, I get my rights and lefts confused. I'm fine. Off to your right, there is the bed and sort of like this standing desk. Again, they levitate. They don't need to worry about standing. You know, it's all the same to them. So there's this sort of like raised desk. It's probably higher than any desk tall people would be comfortable. Rinwin, you would need to like vault yourself up to like take a look at the desk.
Fine.
And there are a couple of drawers and things over there. And then off to the left-hand side, you notice sort of like a closet of kind.
I'll search the desk, I guess.
All right, sure. Roll me an investigation check.
Okay. That is just dice again. Probably nothing can hurt me in here, though.
Oh boy.
13.
You say that, but 13.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you do some sort of you do some investigating, and there's honestly not a whole lot you find. You find a couple of these like thin glass like sheets almost with rounded edges. Like, fuck if I know what this is. And you do actually find, interesting enough, a black stone tablet.
Huh.
But beyond that, it's a lot of like
Is there anything on the tablet?
sort of like it almost looks like
Candy
Braille.
Crush.
Yes, it's Candy Crush. That's it. No, it almost
fucking
looks like
game.
Braille. It's like it's a bunch of like raised dots. It seems like a very tactile experience.
Fucking hell, is it quality?
Hey, Zan, can you read this? I
Yeah.
show her the tablet.
I'm gonna look with my eyes, not touch with my hands first.
Okay.
Can I read it?
It seems the closest you get is it feels like it wants you to touch it.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Touch the thing.
Alright, I'm gonna touch it.
All right, you touch the thing and you just kind of run your hands over it. It takes a bit to get used to because it's like weird. But you get the sense that this is like a personal journal, whereas like perhaps this Mind Flayer preferred the feel of Qualith to store some information. That might be what this is. And there's a lot packed into here. Like one line seems to be like a week's worth of stuff. And you're getting like towards the top, you're getting information like, you know, oh, my father's ship, and now it belongs to me, and I will sail the skies, sail space, and pirate shit and stuff like that. And so, this is like all very touching and sweet, but like also like this guy's head is detached and out there. So how sweet can it be? But towards the end, you get a notice like the brain has commanded me to dispose of the destroyer. We are
feels like a big task.
Yeah, right. The brain has commanded me to dispose of the destroyer. We are to launch it into the sun and return home, and we will be heroes. That's essentially what it says.
Launch it into the sun.
Poetry of it is a bit lost in translation.
Okay.
Have you ever watched the movie Superman 4?
I told you, lava kills everything, and the sun is the ultimate lava.
That's a quote.
That's a quote. All right, we should keep looking for this key. I'll let them know this. If we need the power of the sun to kill this thing, so clearly it's gonna go really well. But let's find the key, I guess.
I can do lots of holy. That's not sun though.
I mean, I'll take it. Look at this key. At this point, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna level with you three. I don't think we're gonna make it.
I don't want to punch goo.
I have faith.
Well, I'm glad one of us does. Now let's find that damned key.
All right, so we had a 13 on investigating the desk. Who else wants to try, and where do you want to look?
I want to just look for a dresser or a closet or something.
Yeah, so like I said, there's a big sort of like wardrobe looking thing, but it's flush with the wall. So it looks like just like sliding doors almost into like a closet.
I would like to try and manage that, please.
All right, so these are a tactile experience. Thankfully, you don't have to worry about willing them to open.
Cool.
So you kind of pull them aside, and it's a little disturbing because on both ends you see a lot of like coats and these like sort of black coats, and you see what looks like a religious garment, this high collared robe. You see a couple of like pirate captain hats, which like, okay, that's a thing. You notice what looks like an extra peg leg, like just in case. And then like, but like those are off to the side. But what you see when you immediately pull it in are just like these jars, just like jars and jars and jars of brains that are sort of floating in this glowing green liquid, similar to what you saw in the back of the brig when you opened up for the spore beholder.
I'll give you 5 gold to drink one of those.
No. I will. Excuse me. I don't suppose you know where a key to a thing is, since I am understood by everyone to these brains.
Asking the brains?
Yes. Why not? I'm also going to steal a hat and a peg leg.
Why not, indeed?
Roll an intelligence check to try and do that, because they're just brains, but you can try.
Okay. I mean, I rolled an 18, but it's a 17.
Okay. So you speak to the brains.
Yes. I'm universal.
And your mind, like you suddenly you're like out of time for a second. You're like everything goes gray for just a minute, and then suddenly it feels like you're just like looking out of a closet from one of these jars. Everything is now tinted green. There are bubbles, and sounds, and just everything going around you. You see. Well, now you the thing is opened, and you see the Mind Flayer captain just like perusing, just running his hands over the jars, and you feel like utter panic, like you're about to die.
Blech.
Like this is real bad. It's feeding time, but oh, thank God, he grabbed the one next to you.
Oh, this
and
is
you
horrible.
Witness this truly disgusting ritual where the Mind Flayer pops open this jar, dips all of his tentacles in, drinks out this sort of green, glowing, cold, bubbly goo, and then once it's dry, like sticks all of its tentacles into the brain, and then pulls that out and like.
You know what? I'm good. I just assume you could just say that watch it eat the brain. You don't have
but where's
like.
the fun in that?
None, and it's fine.
I'd love all the
Witness
details you
that.
want to go into.
And you also see that the cabinet is left open as you hear this like bang, 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 and you see this giant scaled head kind of poking out
Come on.
from above, sort of poking out from the control base, just sort of like poking you down. And they have a conversation. You can't understand it, but you're seeing in 360 degrees because you're a brain in fluid.
Of course.
And you notice just sort of out of the corner of your peripheral, right
it's the
between
dragon.
where the wall of the sort of closet stops and the desk begins, sort of like runs his hand underneath the desk, and then the key sort of like materializes.
Oh.
Passes the key to one of the slot that are also in the room. And then you return to your body.
That was terrifying, but thank you so much. And if we don't die, then I'll figure out what to do with your brain so you don't sit here in the ship forever and ever. Thank you so much. I take a hat. I take a pirate hat. I put on the pirate hat, and I take the peg leg on principle.
Oh my God.
And
before we do that real fast, can you roll me an intelligence saving throw?
Oh, I mean, saving throws are better.
Hey, I'm nearby. You get +4.
Heck yes. Thank you so much. Okay. All right.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
14 +4 +4.
All right.
22.
Yeah. So you do manage to resist taking on a long-term madness.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Wolf below.
I don't appreciate that. I look at the brain that I spoke to. I really don't appreciate that.
You act as if that's the brain's fault.
Is it the brain's fault?
I mean, you just talked to a brain.
I did. I was very
might
close
just
to
be,
it, and I was going to help it.
Might just be a side effect.
Hopefully. I'll probably still come save the brain afterwards if I'm still alive by then. So I put on the hat, and I grab the peg leg, and I turn around, and I go, you never know. There are robots and shit. It's fine.
What?
I guess. I guess.
I guess. It's fine. I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to wave the peg leg around. I'm going to point at the desk, and I'm going to say, I know where the key is. I think I know how to get it. Thank you, Mr. Brain. And I'm going to walk over to the desk. I assume the top of the desk is higher than my head.
Yes.
Did she just thank Mr. Brain?
Yes.
Just checking.
I'm going to put my hand on the thing that I see.
Yeah, so from your perspective, you do actually notice like a little bit of a button.
Heck yeah. Can somebody who's taller than me please
Oh, you don't reach it. You're like standing underneath the desk. Like you're literally just standing underneath the desk.
Well, I meant
it's on the bottom.
I meant grab the key once I press the button.
Oh, sure.
Oh.
Then I press the button.
Yeah, so you press the button and you notice that the desk, which is all made of the same sort of metal as the rest of the ship, one area of it sort of like off to the side begins to like glow sort of bright blue, and it forms like a bunch of weird patterns, but they're also like spinning. And as they spin, it's almost like you're watching the key being like woven together by these thin spindles of light, like almost like a spider web. And eventually you see before you this sort of like sphere that you can hold in your hand with a small little cylindrical bit coming out, sticking up.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take it then if nobody else is gonna.
The last thing I touched hurt me a lot. So.
Fair enough, I'll take it. And I'll put it in a bag.
All right, so can you roll me a... no, I'm joking. I'm joking. You grab the key. Yeah, it's totally fine.
Great.
Cold to the touch. Battle.
So many things that I'm not gonna say. Okay, great. We have the key.
Okay. Yeah, you have the key.
We have the potions. Let's go die. I mean, fight the destroyer that we have to send
you were right the first time.
into the sun. Hurrah. Okay. Anything
We
else?
can do it.
anyone wants to do before we have this lad take us there?
Nope.
Okay.
You might want to take that potion now. I look at Adrian.
Oh, I'll be fine.
Okay.
Famous last words.
Right though, I'll be fine, he says. I'll be fine, he says.
Okay.
Time to go find a busted up boat, I
Slads,
guess.
take us to the door.
One quick second.
Okay.
I'm terrified, but I have a really cool hat now, so.
So, getting up is actually significantly easier than getting down. Now that you sort of like know the trick and that you've already done it once, then you're able to kind of like recreate your thought process, and you kind of all have to huddle into this little 10-foot square because you don't know what's going to happen if you like close the door behind you and there's like people left downstairs.
Right.
So you're all sort of like in this big group hug as you're like, and with your combined weight, it's moving a bit slow. It's not efficient.
Well.
Plate armor wears a lot, guys. I'm sorry.
So it's like,
I really don't like being touched, but this is efficient.
but you're brought up, and you see your 3 slot. You have the key.
We do. It's time to take us to the door that the key can open, where the destroyer ooze creature thing is.
Clank, 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 clank.
Okay.
They just go.
Like I said, really, I don't need them to talk. They're efficient. I like it. Let's go.
Yeah, so you walk past pretty much everything you saw before. Your wonderful decaying Orog friend is comfortingly enough, you suppose, still in the same state of decay that it was when you found it.
I mean,
so
okay.
that's on one hand comforting because this clearly isn't a fast-acting oozinator, but on the other hand, it's still covered in feathery mold and goop, and it's really bad. It's gross.
Yay.
But yeah, so you depart from the spaceship, and yeah, you head. What again? Like I said, these are all relative directions based on sort of your perception of like how you entered, what direction you entered the cavern facing from when you were wished in. But you head.
Oh, hey, Slads. Sorry to interrupt your guiding us to this place, but you don't happen to know if there aren't any other prisoners on the ship? There's not like another space Orog somewhere or something, is there?
The others departed.
Okay.
They had a disagreement with the captain.
That's fine. Carry on.
Thud, 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 thud. They go. And actually, if you notice, it's not hard to. They're sort of using like the sort of compass from their wrist communicator Star Trek thing, and they are taking you north. And as you head north, you notice these sort of like big, nasty grooves in the smooth stone of the floor, almost like something just like carved with enormous claws straight across the ground. And they take a slight western turn to follow these carvings on the ground. And you know, this place is like thick with ooze. It's not quite the rushing river that you encountered before, but like every step is like it's gross. And it's a bit sticky too. It's like when you like step on gum and like you can feel the stick of your shoe on the ground with each step. It's very much like it, but it's like a 360-degree experience. It's not just from one part of your sole, it's like the whole shoe. You can feel it even on like cling to your sides of your shoes. It's
man, Adrian's getting that all jammed up in his plates.
Experience. And eventually you are led to sort of like this rounded cube almost. And it's made of the same black metal as the ship. And as you're walking forward with the key, the cube begins to hum a little bit, and you see a little a little impression forms in this cube, which is probably about 50 by 50 feet in
Gods.
each direction. It's a big boy. As you approach, key in hand to this black and green metal cube, we are going to take break. And we will return with a very interesting combat encounter for our wonderful, wonderful victims tonight.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. Hey everyone, welcome back. I am in the wrong spot. Hello,
Uh-oh.
my name is Kate.
Oh
I'm very
no!
pale ale.
Oh, no.
I'm
Hey,
not your
you know
dungeon
what?
master
It's
tonight.
fine.
It's
I'm the
fine. I'll
DM
fix it.
now.
Haha.
We
You
all
go
survived.
there.
It was a
Fuck Captain
You
goblin.
go
Phillips. I am
there.
the captain now.
There you go.
It
All
was a
fixed.
goblin the whole time.
All right, I have evidently retaken my rightful spot. I'm Alex, I'm your DM, and we're back and ready to go. So, as you hold this key in your hand, Zan, you notice one last thing. Before you go in, you see some writing, and I just want you to make an intelligence check to kind of understand what it is you're saying. Because
Sure.
there might be some words.
That's a 5.
All right, so you see a list of titles and this sort of unparsable word in Abyssal, actually. Does anyone speak
Oh.
Abyssal?
I mean, if you said it out loud, I might be able to understand it.
Nope.
I think I said it.
I mean, I can read it. I could try and sound it out for her, but
You could both of you make an intelligence check.
sure.
Oh, good.
In the meantime, though, what you can parse seem to be sort of titles or a designation of what's inside. And it says, the vile lord, the corrupting king, the all-consuming destroyer.
I don't like it. Oh, that was a little better. That was a 14 that time.
14?
I rolled a 7.
Can I
You
make any kind
sounded
of?
things out. It's not pretty.
Okay.
Yes, Adrian?
I was just gonna ask if based on those titles, if I could make any kind of check to see, like, knowing that this is a Oozy thing and those titles, does that?
Sure, roll a religion check or an arcana check.
Are we going to be fighting a demon lord? I don't want to fight a
I
demon
will,
lord.
that was my guess, like Zach's guess, not Adrian's guess. I guess religion is what I'll use. It doesn't matter. It's the same. Hey, it's a 19.
All right.
Religion is what I rolled.
Abyssal writing, the ooze, the titles. You're pretty sure the demon lord Jubilex is.
Yeah. All right. That's fucking
Damn.
terrible.
Oh.
Okay.
Fight the demon lord, everybody! I'm excited.
So Adrian,
Okay.
after the sounding of that, Adrian goes, so I have good news and bad news.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
Which would you like first?
The bad news, so we can be in a slightly better mood when we finally fight this thing.
Oh, it is a demon lord.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I take it back. There can't possibly be good enough news to make me feel better about
Like
this.
an actual, like, demon, like lord?
Like a ruler of at least a layer of the infinite abyss. Yes.
Charming. Okay, what's the good news?
There's really not any. I lied.
What is
Can
the
we,
matter with you?
We're going to go down with,
Back?
we will die with valor. There's the good news.
That's terrible news,
Can we just put
Adrian.
Back? Can anybody put him? Does anybody have, like, banish or something? Can we just,
Yes, I
like,
have banishment. I'm fairly
yeah.
confident that a demon lord can just tell me no.
Um,
But I will try. I will try.
an attempt will be made. Oh no, it's fine. Okay.
Vio, upon hearing all of that, is just gonna nonchalantly grab their holy symbol and be like, yeah, I don't have time for a dramatic show of faith right now, but you like a little chaos. I feel like you might want to put us on some even playing ground so we can stand a chance of fucking this thing up, and that's my attempt at using divine intervention.
All right, sure. Put us on the playing field. All right, roll your D100.
Ooh, that's a 60.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, you're deep underground, far from anything even remotely close to Umberlee's domain, and you fail to hear her call in response.
Okay. Well,
Storm guide my arm.
literally anybody who's listening, get us out of here.
Please. Oh man.
Let's do it. Let's just do it. Look, let's do it. I don't know what else to say. Let's just do it. I don't know.
I'll go ahead and draw my greatsword.
All right. So, Zan, are you putting the key in?
Oh, wait. Hang on.
Sure.
What do we... Okay, here's a question. Because I keep forgetting that I took this cool sword that does lightning damage. What do we know about this demon lord? And is it a terrible idea to be using this sword?
Mm,
Question.
roll an Arcana check.
Okay, I can do that. Well, I can try and do that. I think my Arcana is better.
Know that it's icky because goo.
Because goo.
Is it like a poison?
This is 22.
Ooh.
22. Alrighty, Rue. Let me pop open this here stat block and let you know.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't actually remember.
Um.
The only reason I asked Eugenio asked, is because, what is it, the ochre jelly that splits when you do lightning damage to it or something like that?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Off the top of your head, you don't know if it's gonna like split or do anything truly weird.
Okay.
But based on what you know about oozes and what you know about demon lords and their sort of elemental affinity, lightning might not be the best. I'm afraid.
Okay, we're gonna...
It also it sort of occurs to you that like lightning, ice, fire, the sort of like traditional elements, as it were. It's you can try it, but
Okay.
it shouldn't be your first.
Okay, so we're gonna...
Oh, well.
I'm drawing
Yo,
it,
lives.
and then I put it back, and then I'll just summon a regular longsword.
Sure.
All right, so branding smite all day, day. Here we go.
So, do you know if it does? Do you know if it's like poisony or like what does it usually like to do? Do you know?
I mean,
destroys everything.
I feel like it's an
Yes.
ooze, so acid poison's probably a good bet.
Okay.
I'd say
Well, I
don't
mean,
touch it, but you don't really have a choice, do you?
No,
So,
I don't.
no lightning.
It's fine.
I wouldn't
I don't
recommend it, no.
It's fine.
So, fuck my entire life.
No, you can still make noise. You can do the thunder.
Eugenio, one last thing you would notice is that generally the properties, well, that's not something you notice about, but just something you remember.
Okay.
Jogging of your memory, because you got a 22, you got pretty good.
Sure.
Ki is a pretty exotic form of magic. Not much stuff resists it. So, I mean, if you're gonna punch, a monk's the best way to punch. And you also know that magical weapons are typically a pretty safe bet. They're not quite the same as just regular old punching and slashing.
So you go ahead and punch. You're gonna be okay.
Yay.
Adrian, you have a magic weapon, I hope?
Magic. Hoists greatsword.
Fantastic. Viel, just blow it up. What can I say?
Valid.
I'm gonna once the door starts to open, I'm going to cast branding smite at 4th level.
Oh my god.
Okay, sure. So as you place the key in, it sort of almost like moves on its own. Like as soon as you put it in, it starts to like spin in like almost like a ball going down, a corkscrew. It just sort of like keeps
Cast bless at 2nd level.
spinning in towards the spinning into this solid wall. And then unsettlingly, the wall begins to sort of start spinning like that as well. Sort of like this large circular indentation in the wall begins to just start like spinning and going in like a screw and disturbingly, it just keeps going. You can see like the end of this cube around the side, but this is going like 100, 200 feet back. But on the outside, the cube is only like 50 feet long. So there's clearly something weird about the dimensions.
It's a TARDIS.
Yes, it is clearly a TARDIS because this long corridor is at least 200 feet long. and it is not 200 feet long from the outside.
Okay.
Hey, I don't want to go inside.
Yeah, I don't particularly either, but there's a lot of things I don't want to do.
We have to.
Do we?
Yes.
I think we might.
The only way out is through that.
You mean through its body where it will be dissolved?
Hopefully not.
Cool.
Okay.
Adrian will go in.
Clank, 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 clank. There's a lot of clanking.
Branding smite.
Here we go.
Sure.
For
Yeah.
them, I told them to fight for us. We're gonna fight for them. With them, not for them. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Blessed at second level, so all 4 of us.
That's the second level. Sure,
Okay.
sure.
Thank
thing.
you.
You walk for a good bit, not nearly long enough to get rid of anyone's concentration spells. This is purely for flavor. If time can be stretched out in here, if length
will
can
be
be
the
stretched out in here, so can time. I do physics. I know about relativity. You're good.
Great.
But you walk for probably a good 300 feet or so before
Okay.
you come out into this like sort of featureless cube of a room that's about 150 feet on each side, and you look around, you look straight ahead of you, and there's nothing in here.
No, I don't like that at all.
Adrian will just bellow out, Jubilex!
Everyone roll me a perception check.
No.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
No. Well, maybe.
What's my perception? Oh, where?
That's a 24.
Is it 19?
12.
13.
I'm gonna need you to hold that in your mind for a second because I gotta do something real fast here.
Okay.
Okay, so what's everyone's roll?
19.
24.
19. What was yours, Viel?
24.
24. Adrian?
13.
13. Brinley?
12.
All right. Viel and Zan, you hear Adrian call out for Jublex. Then you hear something above you.
No.
From out of the dark, which again, unfortunately, this is about 120 feet up. So it's clearly the dimensions are way whacked in this place. You see probably thousands of eyes just floating in this unnatural, deeply unsettling green goop.
No.
Cool.
And it just starts to like drip. And like eyes are like falling down at like marbles in the glass. They're just sort of like bouncing around, vibrating wildly, just like, and
That's
you just
what.
puddles of gloop congealing from these streams from the ground. And
If you let me know when I can cast a spell.
sure,
Yeah, that's what regret sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, the only thing the deck save was to, or not the deck save, the
Perception check.
perception check. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm thinking combat already. Yeah, the only thing that was for is to notice a couple of these big gloops that are sort of falling towards you because you noticed it. Moving a bit slow, so you're able to get out of the way. But Atrian and Ringwin, these are going to function as acid lash attacks.
Oh.
We're gonna get into it.
Great.
All right.
Great. I'm not resistant to acid. I'm immune to poison, but not acid.
All right, so I don't want to read you the numbers, but these definitely hit you.
Oh, see, you're nicer than I am. I revel in giving insane numbers.
Oh, yeah. No, I would definitely tell the numbers.
Go ahead. Tell me how badly I am
Okay.
screwed.
Yeah. Give me that. Give me them rolls.
Atrian,
Uh-huh.
hit for a critical 34.
Hey, I'm immune to critical hits.
All right, you get hit for a regular 34. And you take 20 points of acid damage.
Okay.
That's fine.
Rinwin, you are also hit with a 33, and you take 24 points of acid damage.
Okay, those numbers are scary, but also you rolled a 20 and a 19.
Yeah. I actually have this power on roll 20. Like everyone I play with on roll 20 like knows that I just roll well. You get the chance, ask Sam, she knows. and we'll get into it. So during the break, we all rolled initiative to get this moving quickly.
Yeah.
And we will start. One of the gray slot is actually the first to respond. And let's see what it's going to do. It's just going to throw a fireball up. I don't think it really wants to
Oops.
I don't think it really wants to get much closer than it is right now. Let's see.
I need to make a concentration check, don't I?
For.
Oh yeah, sure. Roll that as well.
Branding smite.
Oh yeah.
Could I retcon something real quick?
It depends on what it is.
Well, I don't know if it's actually possible because I already got hit by a thing, but I keep forgetting I have a ring that lets me go invisible.
I have a feeling
I'll say,
it's got.
unfortunately, at this point, you've already been hit.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Sorry.
I'll
Oh,
do that
no.
on my next turn. It'll be fine.
Did you lose branding smite?
wait.
What?
I rolled it with my negative modifier still on. I got a 19.
Oh.
19. All right. So you were hit for 20 points, so you're fine. You're fine.
Okay. Branding smite's still going.
Let's see. Where are my saves? All right. So to begin, one of the Slav raises up its grenade launcher and thump, and Jublex, with alarming speed, just kind of like contorts around the grenade.
Ew.
Lands in this empty spot in the floor where Ooze once was, as it sort of like whips around and creates this empty circle. Some of the fire does catch onto Jublex,
Okay.
but it's clearly not as much as if Jublex was slower.
That's creepy.
Yeah. So let me mark off that damage. That was 35 reduced to 17, reduced to 8.
Oh, good.
Okay. That was a good fireball. That did not work.
The second slot now is going to essentially repeat the same process.
So is Jublex on the floor now? Is that what you said?
I think just Ooze fell on the floor.
It sounded like he said Jublex is on the floor.
I thought so too, but
Hello? I'm sorry. Did I freeze?
A little bit, yeah.
I guess so. Yes.
Jublex is on the floor now.
Jublex is on the floor now.
Okay.
Jublex is all on the floor. Yeah.
Great.
And the second attack did not save. So this one, while Jublex is still like kind of recovering from this weird twisted up shape, one of them launches it in. While all the eyes are turned to the left to see one slide, the one on the right, boom, and it crashes into Jublex and like it explodes in this fiery hot ball of goop and disgusting.
Gross.
Jublex will take from that a total of 17 damage.
That's not nothing. Okay.
Alrighty, Roo. So, Viel, you're up first for the PCs.
Yeah.
About how far away is Jublex?
Jublex is probably at this point maybe like 20 or 30 feet.
Oh.
Because it drooped down to attempt to attack you. So it's close. It's within 10, 20 feet maybe.
Okay. That's fine. That's real fine. And they use grenade launchers, so I'm assuming they're a decent way back. I'm gonna run straight up and cast Shatter at many. Wait, am I casting Shatter or am I casting Thunderwave? Let me check. I am casting. Oh yeah, no, we're gonna push this thing away.
Rinwin, you're on deck just as well.
So I'm gonna cast Thunderwave at 3rd level.
Sure, roll me the damage and then read the description. Just the push effect. I know that's pretty much all we got. The push and the save.
Yeah. I am not gonna roll the damage because I'm gonna use the thing that does max damage.
Sure. So what's the damage and what's the save for the push?
Con save.
Con save. All right. So
Well, actually, it's for the
to make
large.
con save. What?
It's for the whole spell, actually.
Excuse me?
The save is half and push.
Yep.
Oh, half and push. Yeah. Con save. So what's your save DC?
funny thing, Thunder Wave is apparently a cleric and sorcerer spell, so I'm gonna use it as a cleric spell. So 18.
Jublex does save.
Oh, come on. Well, that's 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. All right. Like Eugenio said, not nothing.
Not nothing.
And I'm gonna use
Oh, that's up.
my. I'm gonna use my tempestuous magic feature to fly 10 feet away without provoking an opportunity attack and run back.
All right, sure. So now you're about 40 feet away. So keep your 40-foot distance in mind. Rinwin, you are up. Zan, you're on deck.
Mhm.
Cool. So I would like to use my Ring of Mind Shielding to
Mhm.
become invisible.
Okay.
And then I would like to skedaddle my full 50 feet. I would like to kind of strafe away from the group, but closer to Jubilex.
Mhm.
So that if he does any AoE stuff, I'm hopefully not involved because it's
Okay.
50 feet away. And I would like to get in position to do a thing, but since that was my action, I will use a key point to do what is it called? Patient defense.
Are you
Yeah.
required to make an action before you, or make an attack action to do that?
I don't believe so. No,
Okay, because
just a
Only for flurry of blows, I think.
yeah,
not
because
for-
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
All right, so you're dodged and you are out of position for any AoEs.
correct.
You
And
hope.
I'm invisible.
And you're invisible. Wonderful. So Zan, you are up, and Adrian, you're on deck.
So I am also going to sort of go around the other side. I sort of tried my best to watch which way Rinwin was looking before she popped out
Yeah.
of sight. So I'm going to go to the other side, get within 30 feet. And as I'm running over to that side, I'm going to hold my my longsword that I conjured out of the air and sort of slide the flat of it down the right side of my body, and my body is covered in like a blue-white hoarfrost as I cast
Love it.
Armor of Agathis.
Wonderful. All right.
And then I will use my bonus action when I get within 30 feet to then point the blade at Juiblex, and we see that same blackish purple curse energy sort of wreathe itself in and around Juiblex as I curse it with my Hexblade's curse.
All right, and as you do this, the sort of blackish purple energy mixes with the sickly green. You create this really disturbing sort of brownish color.
Ew.
And you also disturbingly notice that
I regret everything.
whereas previously all of the eyes were very focused and watching all of you at the same time, now a few of them are just like spinning in place. It's unsettling. All right, Adrian, you're up.
It's gonna make a hell of a story if we kill this thing, kids.
You're probably about 10 feet away, by the way.
Me?
No, Adrian.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
in distance.
I am going to first use my Channel Divinity feature to make Jubilex my Vow of Enmity target as a
Sure.
action. And then, I mean, Atrian will give a war cry and just rush the Demon Lord.
All right.
Remember you're blessed.
Oh, yeah, I am. And I have advantage because of Vow of Enmity on all of my attacks.
All right.
And for the next minute or until either of us die.
All right.
So, here we go.
Oh no.
That's either a 20 or a 1. What is it, my guy?
I got a natural fucking 20.
Yes.
Yes. Let's go.
Okay.
Put in some real damage.
Here we go. And I had that 4th level branding smite going.
You did.
Double all them dice.
Additional divine smites on top of that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Right.
I'm a dump my other 4th level spell slot for divine
Hell
smite.
yeah, you are.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I gotta count up some virtual dice here.
All right. What's your oath, by the way, just quickly?
Vengeance.
Vengeance, gotcha.
Okay, so that's 8d6 just for branding smite.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is gonna be
Um,
good. I love it.
Let's see. We've got 2 for the first level, second, third, fourth, crit. He is a fiend, I'm guessing, so that's
Yes, yeah.
12, and then I'm always kind of going. So 14d8.
Yep, 14
radiant
d8.
damage.
And then what was the
Wonderful.
branding smite?
It was 8d6 just for that. So
14
also
D8
my
plus 8d6. I love it.
so also I'm wielding a great sword. So that's 12d6.
Yes. Ugh.
Oh man.
Oh, just imagine holding those 26 dice in your
Oh
hands.
man,
Right.
I so wish that I was.
I can't even imagine that much power. I really can't.
I mean, he's gonna kill me after this.
I mean,
guys, so
but it'll be a great way to go out, my friend.
it.
I'll
Absolutely.
find a bard to write a song about you.
Excellent. He does have to make a saving, or it has to make a
Oh yeah, sure. What
for branding smite. I'm looking.
Con, right?
Con, I
I
believe.
believe so. Yes.
Usually how-
No.
Oh.
It doesn't get a saving throw at all.
Oh.
Okay, neat.
If it's invisible, then it sheds dim light in a 5 radius and cannot become invisible anymore.
It's not invisible.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's just a bunch of damage.
All right.
Here we go.
What is it? What's the number?
That is 112 points of damage.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Holy fucking shit! 112?
I'm pretty sure. Let me.
Is that before or after the doubling?
That's with it all doubled.
Okay. Okay.
Fucking shit!
Okay.
Yeah, 112. I just checked the math.
Wow! Oh
Yeah.
my god! All right.
Hell yes.
Attack number 2.
Right? Yeah.
Do
Well,
it again.
I didn't crit again, but my high roll was a 26
That is, yeah.
with
That is.
bless. Okay.
Right, we're blessed.
Right. I mean, fuck it. We're fighting a demon prince. I'll spend a 3rd level spell
Do it.
slot on divine smite.
Sure. Yeah.
So let's see. It's 2d6 and then 2, second, third, 1, 6.
Yes.
It's not awful. That is 47 points of damage altogether.
47 points of damage. All right. Let me do some math on that.
Diggity damn.
Oh, man.
Jesus Christ.
And for what it's worth,
Alright.
some of that was radiant damage, just in case that matters.
Yes, it was all
Fucking
magic.
fiends.
It was all magic slashing and radiant damage.
Oh yeah, I'm aware.
Fucking
So,
fiends.
like an absolute fucking madman,
Golf
you
clap.
charge. You run with your sword held high and a war cry in your lungs. As you bring the blade down, and it is just bursting with this divine radiant light. And as you impact the ooze, it's just boom. The room falls silent as there's just this deafening explosion, and Jublex is just rent. Just there's bits of ooze and eyeballs and just stuff flying everywhere
Yes.
from this explosion.
Okay,
And as it
gross, but
tries to reform, you bring the blade across again, cutting off this big slab of ooze that just sort of like flops and writhes, and the eyes are staring at you wildly, bloodshot, as this piece of ooze just sort of flops around. And as we begin Shublex's turn, you notice that it attempts to kind of recongeal and kind of bring its bring some of the disparate elements of this these puddles of ooze together, but where your holy fire from your divine smite is burning away at the ooze, you notice it is not able to reform.
Yes,
All right,
paladin.
good.
All right. So we are now on Jublex's turn.
Okay, well.
All right, so it is going to
Eat Atrian.
Yeah, right. Does not like you. You notice like
Yeah.
all of the eyes, they're now looking at you first.
Oh yeah.
All right, so it is actually going to use its eject slime ability. So I'm going to need you to do a dex saving throw.
Oh good. I'm so good at these.
Ah,
All right. At least I'm blessed. That is a total of 19.
You do not save.
Yeah,
Oh,
didn't think so.
So
Okay.
as you're like relishing in your victory, you're like, yeah, maybe we have a chance. You were just like shoved to the side almost by this big mass of acidic slime, and you feel like eyeballs smacking into your face.
Ew.
Ugh.
It's all ooze and slime. It is truly disgusting.
And I take a zillion damage, I assume.
Yeah, let me roll that real fast. You take 62 points of acid damage. Your armor class reduces by.
Oh no.
You're not holding a shield, so your armor class
I'm
reduces
not.
by 1. 2 hit, and your attack rolls are reduced by 1.
Oh no.
Fine.
Blast.
Fine.
Gray Slot is going to go, and it, emboldened by your charge,
Yes, that's right.
to run up, use its energy weapon to attack. And that's a miss.
Okay.
And that's a 4. So yeah, it's good. Vroom, vroom, and you see just Jublex kind of back in the groove now that it's hit something. Kind of like. And it is going to use a legendary action to retaliate against this Slod.
Oh, poor Slod.
And Acid Whip.
Oh no.
Yeah, that gets it. So you see one of Jublex's tendrils just kind of wrap around it like this really whip of a lasso. So now it's just like surrounded, and this Slod, this panic in his eyes, might not be capable of complex thought, but it's capable of panic. You hear this just like desperate, dying, croaking scream as the acid sort of dissolves away at the flesh and in the middle of its torso, and it's just yanked in
Oh no.
the middle of Jublex. And as its body very rapidly dissolves, its eyes join the collective.
Oh, gross.
Oh, good.
And we will begin with Slods 2 and 3, both of whom are out of fireball, so they will with their energy weapons. Let's see here. That's 1 hit for 12 damage, reduced to 6.
What did it do?
It used an energy weapon.
Oh, blessed be. Okay.
Yeah, they're out of fireball, so now they've got to use the energy weapons.
Yeah, okay. I don't think I have anything to give them either. I don't have time for that.
And so at the end of that one's turn, it's going to use an acid lash at you, Atrian. So let's see.
My armor class is now a 17.
Yeah, this one hits. That's a
lot, I'm sure.
20 total.
Gigi.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't do this character sheet right on roll 20, evidently. So I'm going to have to redo some math here. All right, you take 24 points of acid damage as you are just sort of bodied by this big acid. And does that do anything to your armor? No, it does not.
Good.
So yes, that is
Cool.
Okay.
one Slod down.
Are you okay over there? That didn't look too good.
Slod number 2 is gonna go, and
Not
Been
that
better.
good. Okay. I mean,
Let's
I
see
can't
what-
help you, but I was just curious.
You can see this slot is really, really. It looks mad. Like it looks like it's just concentrating on something. Eugenio, you get the sense it's trying to break off
Look,
from its control gem.
where do you think you're gonna go, sir? Just help us.
Fortunately, that is impossible.
Don't waste
so
your time.
It is going to cast
Oh,
invisibility.
you're just. It's
And-
gonna. Okay, fine.
You hear thud, 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 thud. It seems to be attempting to flank Jublex.
Okay, I mean, I support you in your choices, but it can probably still see you.
As it does that, Jublex is going to take another legendary action to attack you, Adrian. It does not
Yep.
like you.
God.
Nah,
Well, I
wouldn't
wonder why.
so. Yeah, well,
That's a 32 to hit for 22 acid damage.
Oh no.
22 you said?
32 to hit for 22 damage.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
If I had to
yeah,
give
you're up.
myself a rating out of 174, I'd put myself at a 32.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his lay on hands. He'll be okay for a minute.
I do still have lay on hands.
Ooh, it's just fine. You know, we were warned. Cool.
We were. It's fine. We gotta. We're fine. Okay. Good work, lads. You tried. I mean, it was pretty shitty work, I gotta say, but like you
It
tried,
was.
so I
You're not
appreciate it,
wrong.
I guess.
All right, Vio, what you got?
Yeah, we'll just look at the scene that has passed in the
I'm
past
sorry,
6
I'm
seconds.
losing you. Can you speak up just a bit? Let me bring my music down. I apologize.
BL will look at the scene that has passed in the past 6 seconds. Will
Lots happened.
raise a hand, slowly fold it into itself, and I'm casting Harm at 6th level.
Harm, all right. Can you read me the spell description on that? And what's the save?
It's a con save. You unleash a virulent disease on a creature you can see within range. The target must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 14d6 necrotic damage, or half as much damage on a successful save. The damage can't reduce the target's hit points below 1. If the target fails a saving throw, its hit point maximum is reduced for 1 hour by the amount equal to the necrotic damage it took. Any effect that removes the disease allows the creature's hit point maximum to return to normal before that time passes.
Okay, sure. So as you reach out, and what's the range on that? Just to be clear.
60 feet.
60 feet. All right, you're well within range. You reach out to cast Harm, and suddenly this sort of like, not a physical cloud, but this black presence just sort of fills the room. It's already dark in here. There's a bit of dim glow from all of the sort of green Independence Day looking lights around you, but it's not bright in here to begin with. But even so, a shadow falls across the battlefield as you reach out and call on Umberly to cast Harm. And as you do, it looks like you've just got it. It looks like it's beginning to really fall underneath your spell. But suddenly it sort of wills itself to congeal back together,
Oh, dear.
and it will expend a legendary resistance to pass the save.
That's okay.
So,
That's one of them.
Well,
We made it use it. That's okay.
Down 1. Congratulations.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
What spell slot was that?
6.
6.
Okay.
That's all right.
Okay.
Well, that's sad.
Mhm.
But it's not so sad. That's 32 points of damage.
Okay.
32. All right. Got you. Alrighty, Rue. And let me check the turn order. I apologize. Rimwing, you're up. Zan, you're on deck.
All right.
Yay! So I'm
Wait,
invisible.
no, actually, I apologize. Because you haven't done anything yet. Jublex will expend its last legendary action to attack you, Adrian.
Oh no, Adrian, no.
Come get me.
Oh, don't say that because it will.
I mean, I'm not sure that Jublex can miss, but
That's 27
Could roll a 1.
of acid damage.
27 points of acid.
27 points of acid damage.
Oh no. It's fine. We're fine here.
All right, now Rinwood, go. I apologize for.
Okay, so first thing I see is that this is not going well at all. But I did notice that the attacks it did against the Slod were fewer attacks against the Paladin and everybody else.
It's true.
So I will pull out my gray bag of tricks.
Oh no.
I want to make some more things
Okay. I
for
love
it
it.
to fight other than the people that, I've been with for around 10 hours now.
I love it.
And so I'm going to throw one of the fuzzy objects at Jublex as
All
a
right.
distraction.
Why don't you read me the spell description, and I believe you roll for the animal, correct?
Yes. It's
All
you can use an action to pull the fuzzy object from the bag and throw it up to 20 feet. When it lands, it transforms into a creature you determine by rolling a d8 and consulting the table, etc., etc. And then there's the monsters listing for the thing. It's friendly and acts on my turn, and I use a bonus action to command how it moves and what it takes on its next turn, or give it general whatever.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll with yes.
So it has its own initiative, or does it act on your turn only?
It actually doesn't. It says it acts on my turn.
Okay. So roll for your creature, and you can keep track of its stats on your end, correct?
Yes.
All right, good.
All right.
Uh-oh.
What do we got?
It's a fucking kobold or something.
It's a weasel.
Love it. I love it. So you pull out this gray ball, which I don't know what's in there, but you're hoping this could be like a polar bear. This could
Could have
be
been a dire wolf or a
Dire
death
wolf.
badger or an,
this could be a Tyrannosaurus Rex with fuzz. Who knows? And you throw it and hope against hope that you may possibly get some sort of creature that can turn the tide. And there's this loud thunder crack. It's a cute little red weasel going like.
Well, it's there for a reason. I command it to charge the demon lord of acid.
All right. Roll.
Oh my god. Do you know what I want though? My greatest wish.
Let crit.
To live.
My second greatest wish is for that weasel to do the final hit point of damage.
That would be wonderful, but
That'd be amazing.
Okay, well
right,
there's
so what's a weasel roll?
There's a weasel. Oh god, I got tears in my eyes. Oh no. That's my turn. I'm still invisible.
I mean, is it attacking?
I mean,
It has a +5 to hit bite attack and will do 1 piercing damage on a hit.
And you use a bonus action to trigger that attack, correct? You use a bonus action.
I believe so, yes.
You
Pretty
have
sure the weasel teeth are not magical, though.
And I'm still technically invisible. I don't think throwing a weasel counts as an attack action to make me an uninvisible.
But
So-
you can't have 1 hit point, so it's gonna do 1 hit point regardless.
Actually, in
reduces down
5e,
to 0.
yeah, in 5e,
Oh.
there's no rule about not rounding down to 0,
Yup.
Okay.
which is sad for the weasel.
all
So do
right.
I roll for the weasel to attack?
I mean,
If it is physically impossible, well, you could roll a 20. So yeah, go ahead.
you could roll a funny. Is my favorite.
You could roll a 20. Let's go. Let's see what you got.
Oh, you could roll a
rolled a
20. I heard you
5.
could roll a funny. Well,
Oh no.
6 of one, half dozen the other.
Yeah,
I
right.
rolled a 5. So with a mighty squeak, this brave little weasel charges and oh no.
It's the bravest weasel that there ever was.
It's fine, you guys.
Truly is, but it's ineffective.
Sure is trying.
It's like watching a weasel eat jello.
Oh,
Attempt to eat
acidic,
evil
poisonous
jello.
jello.
Jello from hell.
No.
And with that, we will go to Zan. It is your turn. You are invisible. you have Hexblade's Curse up, correct?
I do, and Zan is just like hands on her hip, like on her sides, like wheezing with laughter. Amazing.
I don't know what's funny about this.
I'm so... I think I found something that... Nope, that's the wrong voice. Espérate. I think I found something that's funnier than space, but...
It's really dying here.
I'm sorry, I'm coming.
Attack Weasel.
Okay, so I'm going to use my bonus action to move that hex that I've been concentrating on all this time, because it's a 24-hour concentration. I'm gonna move it to Juiblex.
All right.
And then I'm gonna... you know what? I'm gonna let out a mighty squeak like the weasel. And I'm gonna go and stab at the creature.
All right, let's see what you got.
Let's do. There's so many numbers. I don't know. Hang on a second. I'm hitting buttons. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the first one. Oh, I can't. I don't know how to hold it up so you can see it, but it's a natural 20.
Yes.
That actually doesn't help me out too much, I have to admit. Okay.
Do I have Eldritch Smite?
I do not. I didn't take that one.
Okay.
Okay, but so that is 16 plus 5 is 21 plus 10 is 31.
All right.
So that's 31 combination of magical slashing and necrotic damage for the first hit.
All right.
And then we're gonna do it again. And this time, this time it is that's a 15 plus 11 is 26 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And it's 16, 20, 23 slashing and magical slashing and necrotic damage.
All right, 23.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, Adrian, you're up.
Well, much as I would love to try to bash Drubelex's gross, sticky face in, I'm gonna lay on hands myself.
Right.
For all 80 points.
All right.
So that's my action, is to heal myself 80 points. Oh, I don't have any good, shit. I cast Compel Duel on Drubelex.
Oh!
You cast Compel?
No.
I have to save Zan.
Zan's gonna be fine.
I mean, but you're up here now, so I want it to hit me.
You're such a good paladin. Zan
All right,
might
so you
almost
cast-
feel bad about this later.
So is that an action or a bonus action?
That's a bonus action.
Okay, sure. So you're up 80 hit points, you're to 85, and you cast Compelled Duel. That's a save, correct? What's it?
It is a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
I'm so torn. I don't want you to waste your spell, but also I feel bad, so I kind of hope it makes it.
It's a first level spell, so it's
I don't
okay.
feel so bad if it makes it then.
Yeah, Jublex rolled a 30.
Oh my god!
Balls! Well, I tried.
I appreciate your effort, my friend.
You reach out and you attempt
No
to
problem.
trying to grasp onto whatever power you channeled to make your first strike. And you notice that a lot of the eyes are turning towards you. But then they start turning to everyone else because there's like a good few hundred of them.
You are the least obnoxious paladin I've ever had the fortune of adventuring with.
Thank you.
Yep, take it as a compliment that I meant it for.
All right, so
There's a weasel.
to begin, you notice that some of the disparate bits of goop that were thrown around and charred a little bit from Atron's radiant damage no longer have anything holding them back from reforming.
Uh-oh.
So, like, their jukebox is growing in size now, as bits of itself coalesce.
Just keep hitting it.
Well, I needed to live long enough to do it again.
That's true. You use your action to heal yourself. You're right. You did a smart thing. Don't listen to me. I'm not a paladin. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I definitely would not have survived another round.
No, for sure not. Maybe it'll come after me a little bit.
Maybe.
Alrighty, Rue. So, Jublex is going to take 3 attacks: 1 acid lash at Atrian, 1 acid lash at Zan, and
One actual
disturbingly,
weasel. Oh.
Rinwin. You see probably about 40 or so eyes.
Oh no.
Like, I see you.
No, you Mira,
No,
leave
you
him
don't.
alone.
And
He's
they
No,
trying.
you don't.
take an attack against you as well.
Oh, against Rinwin.
That true sight.
Yes.
Though.
Leave her alone.
This is why I tried to compel duel.
It's
In
fine.
addition to Zan.
There are probably worse ways to die than acid via the Demon Lord. It's fine. I mean, I can't think of any right now, but I'm sure there are worse ways to die.
All right, so first one against Rinwin, that is going to be 26 points of damage.
What'd you-
It's a
Okay.
30. Rolled the 30, so it's 26 points of acid damage.
Okay. It's fine.
Against Zan, that's roll for
Go ahead. What was to hit? Did it hit me?
to hit 25.
Okay, so
damage,
I'm gonna use
21.
my reaction to use Armor of Hexes, and you decide either you roll or I roll a d6, and if it's a 4 or higher, the attack misses me.
You roll. You roll.
Okay. Where's my crafting muse die? That one likes me.
Yes.
Is it
Zan.
It's a 2.
So it doesn't hit
Oh,
you.
It
21
doesn't.
points of acid damage, and this
How-
one is actually
How much was the damage?
21.
21, and it takes 25 cold damage.
Sure. You notice the cold doesn't seem to be super effective.
Well, look, whatever. It gave me some temporary hit points. It's fine.
So let's see. That's
And do I need to roll to concentrate on my hex? Because that was temporary, but I still have to roll, right?
yeah, you do, I think.
Ooh, but I'm blessed.
Hidrin, while he's rolling, you take 21 points of acid damage as well, as it barely hits you with a 17.
Oh.
That is my armor class now.
Now,
But I'm sure it also rolled single digits to get that result. So,
yeah, rolled 3.
yeah. Great.
Gods.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's
We
totally
can do this.
fine.
We can do this.
Yeah, we can. Let's do like the weasel who had no fear in its tiny, tiny little heart.
All right, so we're back at the top of the order. The first Grey Slod, who is visible, is going to make
Oh boy.
gonna make some this here great sword attacks.
I don't.
That's a miss. That's an 8.
Oh, look, I know
That's
you're
a 23. That hits.
Okay, that's better.
For 10 lightning damage, reduced to 5, so that's
Okay.
135.
More than nothing. I support you.
Second Slod, who was invisible, is now going to come in and attack at advantage.
Chile, come on, Sladdy.
Oh, oops, I missed something.
What did you miss?
Oh no.
Begin your turn within 5 or 10 feet of Jublex. Rather, you have to make a con save or be poisoned. We'll start that this round. I suppose.
Okay, that's charming. I can't wait to do that.
All right, so that one's poisoned, and this one is also poisoned, so it's a disadvantage.
Really good.
And
Good.
it misses both of its attacks, so both a disadvantage. And at the end of that one's turn, it's going to use a legendary action to cast Corrupting Touch on Atrian, I think. The biggest threat.
Is it casting a spell?
It's using a legendary action. It's not technically. It's a melee weapon attack.
Okay.
It could cast because it wasn't. It's not in its list of
Okay,
actions. but
that's
it's a
fine.
melee.
Just checking.
So what do I do?
Let's
Probably
see.
die, but we'll see.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I love you.
I love you too.
I'll
Zan.
find a bar. Don't you worry. I'm gonna tell a great
A
story.
save.
What kind of save?
It does not require a save. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh, that
good.
doesn't sound good.
Well, he said it's a melee attack, so I have to roll.
Sounds like some demon
If he rolls a
lord
2 or a 1.
Sure, I don't think he did, or he would have stopped by now.
Yeah, it's a
Probably.
21.
Okay.
It does 36 points of damage,
Ooh.
and you are covered in poison. And until you use an action or someone else uses an action to scrape that poison off, you will continue to be poisoned. And no one else is in 10 feet of Adrian, correct?
No.
Mm-mm.
We all split up in different directions.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah. All right, then, yeah, you take 36 points of damage and you're poisoned until you spend an action to undo that. And Viel, you're up.
Come on, VL.
Am I healing or am I doing the thing I do best?
Well, I'm at 28 out of 174.
A heal feels like a good solid life choice right now.
That would be appreciated.
Particularly
Well,
because we
second
need him
weapon.
to do radiant damage to keep this thing from healing itself.
I can also do radiant damage.
Oh, well, in that case, I don't know.
Do whichever
I
you would
don't-
like.
You holy people, I never understood you anyway.
Bonus action economy sucks.
Yeah.
All right, friends. Sorry about this, Adrian. I'll get you next time.
I have to live through next time.
Yeah.
I got spells for that. Okay. All right. Guiding bolt at what level do I still have spots for? 7th.
Got a bolt at 7th level. All right, let's see it. Make your attack roll.
Okay. Gonna use bless. This probably still hits, but okay. That's 25.
Oh,
That's a hit, yeah.
I should think so.
What's your damage?
Gotta roll that damage now. That is 9d6 or the 10d6? Okay. 10d6. That is 43 points of damage.
It's radiant damage.
Yeah.
43
Yes.
points of radiant damage.
And
all
whoever
right.
attacks next has advantage because he's glittery. Yeah, I like that spell, VL. Now he's all pretty, and I can't see the creepy
Yay.
eyes quite as much.
All right, so that was, can you read the damage for that one more time?
43.
43, all right. Alrighty, Rue. So yeah, you reach out, you cast Guiding Bolt. What color is that?
For Riel, that'd probably be like dark teal-ish
Yeah.
type color.
All right, so this sort of dark teal energy is now swarming and sort of accenting Jubilex's edges, which, to be fair, are kind of difficult to see because they're a little bit transparent. So, so there's a little bit of stuff going on.
That's right.
And Rinwin, you are up. You are still invisible. Your weasel is still alive.
Okay. Well, technically speaking, I could try again for a dire wolf or a giant badger or something. But I feel really bad not having done anything actually to or at all in the 3 turns that I've had. So I'm going to I'm gonna square up.
Do it.
And I'm gonna take Mr. Stick.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go whack him real hard.
Whack
All
him
right.
real hard.
Attack
Come
roll.
on, Rimwing.
The
Get in.
water is not fine. The water sucks actually, but
It's pretty gross in
Well,
here, but do the thing.
I rolled a 21.
Yeah.
All right, that hits.
Thank goodness. This is with my stick, my staff of warning. So that's that's 9 damage.
Every
All
little bit.
right.
Yep. And then
That counts.
I'm going to give him a swing with my fist.
Right.
Oh, that's only an 18.
Look, I don't know who's laughing, but this is not a laughing matter.
I apologize. That's likely my roommate's.
No,
That does.
it's really funny.
Does an 18 hit?
No, that does miss.
Yeah. So yeah. And as my bonus action, I will command the weasel.
Sure. Right. Let's see it.
The weasel
Command
not dead.
the weasel.
He's part of the team, man. He's part of the team. He rolled what is it? Is the +5?
Mm-hmm.
He rolled 19.
Okay. So the non-magical weasel actually does manage to take a bite. However, this is non-magical damage.
I know.
Yes.
And so while it is able to get a little bit Julex off and into its mouth and start chewing,
Very ferocious. Very
fills
ferocious.
fills in the real estate, so to speak. There's no real damage done.
Well, it tries. And it's
I really
Right.
like this weasel. I don't want it to die.
At the end of your turn, Rinwin, it is going to use a legendary action to make another melee attack. This time against Zan, I think.
Yeah,
Trying to get you to drop
That's
that
fair.
concentration there.
that's fair.
That's 31 to hit for 21 points of damage.
I will use, because I took my turn, so I have my reaction back, so I'll try it again.
Sure.
That one's a 4, so it misses.
All right, so
Hey.
it does miss.
So what was it, the acid lash?
Yes.
So the lash sort of comes out, and just as it's right in front of my face, the curse energy sort of swirls around it and stops it. And it's like right here, and I just smile at it, and then it pulls it back in.
All right. Look at that BDE. I love it. All right. Wait, you're up next.
Beautiful.
You're up next. Did you go?
Me?
Yeah.
That was his reaction.
That was my reaction to him taking a legendary action. So now I take my turn. Oh.
Didn't you attempt that last time because you hadn't had your turn back yet?
Oh, you're right. So it did hit me. I haven't done my
Yeah,
turn yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. What was the damage?
21.
21. Okay. And it takes another 25 cold, but that's the end of that.
All right, and that's going to be reduced.
Let me make my concentration check. Oh yeah, that's a 19.
Yeah, you save. Now, Zan, you're up.
Okay,
And react
so
back.
we're going to swing at it again. Wait, I have to make a Constitution save?
Yeah, make a con save. Make
Yeah.
a con save.
That is an 18.
You fail. You're poisoned until the end of your next turn.
Okay, so I roll with disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
But you're blessed.
But I'm blessed. Okay, that's still pretty good. That is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. That is 16 plus 7 is 23 damage.
All right. Your bugs are looking pretty bad, actually.
Good, I'm gonna do it again.
All right.
So I do it again. I rolled 2 9s, which is 11 plus 11 is 22 to hit.
22 to hit. All right, that hits.
Okay, and then it's 16 plus 7 again, so it's another 23 damage.
All right.
And then I'm going to use my bonus
right.
action, and I'm going to, well, I don't really know how this works, but it's going to, like, the curse energy is going to contract on it, and he's going to take another 5 psychic damage just for shits and giggles.
All right, sure thing. Anything else you got?
I mean, no, she's going to give it a finger.
Sure thing. All right, Adrian, you're poisoned.
Oh.
And
Yes, and they need to make a Constitution saving throw to see if.
well, you're already poisoned, so I don't think this can take
Oh,
effect.
okay. Okay. Well,
Oh, right.
I need to hit it.
You're right. Well, you're right. Well, never mind.
You got range something? You got something? range?
I am going to cast Branding Smite as a bonus action, just at second level.
Mhm.
And since my vow is still going, I have advantage and disadvantage.
So that was a straight roll. Yep.
Yes.
With your adjusted to hit modifier.
Yes, so I have a 10 to hit instead of 11.
Mhm.
I'm still.
Did
Is
you
it a
get-
20?
Man.
Wait, is it a 20?
I got another natural 20.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Roll your damage.
Yes.
Kill it. Kill it.
Oh my god.
It's gonna fuck you up now.
I mean, yeah. I'm gonna use my last 3rd level spell slot for my Divine Smite.
Sure.
I love that you can declare Divine Smite after you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's way better than previous editions where you just had to waste it. If you
Yeah, race and hope for the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Great Sword. Another 4 for that, and then Divine Smite. So
Da 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 da. Kill it! Mira, you're doing it again. Who is that? Who is your god? I think I might like them.
Torm,
That's a
the
little.
Loyal Fury.
I mean, go for him, but that's a little. I don't know.
So this is
Booch for me.
8d6 and 12d8.
All right.
Okay.
That is not as impressive as my previous crit.
I
It
mean-
is a mere 84 points of damage.
How do you want to do it?
Coño! That's it! Take it. You know what? Fine. Torm can have a prayer. Do it!
All right, what are we doing?
So, covered in gross ichor stuff, Atrian just raises his great sword and then bellows out for Torm as loud as he can, and then like
Pick up the whistle.
I'm listening to Final Fantasy. So he does the like Cloud Strife Limit Breaker Braver slash,
Yeah.
just jumps up into the air
Fuck yes.
and just slams the sword down as it's flaring with holy power to hit it.
All right. So as you do, there's another explosion, smaller than the first one, but still sizable. And this time, all of Jublex catches fire, essentially. And rather than reform to attempt to attack you as it did last time, it just sort of like writhes and wriggles, and you see just the ooze is now melting into this liquid, and eyes are just falling flat onto the ground with little thuds and squishes as the ooze is just burning away. And Jublex doesn't really have a mouth, but it can still communicate telepathically. And you all sort of vicariously feel its pain as it just sort of burns and melts away to this puddle of disgusting gray, green, filthy muck on the ground.
Ew.
But it doesn't stop there, because even that starts to melt and the eyeballs start to catch fire and they
I mean, I never liked them, but
burst. Everything in this room suddenly is just sort of this low white blue burn of radiant energy, and a sickening sort of sulfurous sweet smell fills the air.
Oh.
As you somehow survive your encounter with the Demon Lord. Good job, everyone. I'm impressed.
That's right. That's right. Oh my God! Now we gotta get them wishes.
Wonderful.
Oh boy.
Once that happens, Atrian just like puts his sword on like point down, then falls to a knee like.
I run over and I start like wiping the goo off of him, the poison goo off of him,
Yeah.
so he's not poisoned
All
anymore.
right, sure. And so as we conclude our journey, you hear a couple of sounds all at once. Everything begins to move quickly now. You hear sort of like this windy sound, almost like the wind over flat plains or flat grassland, and suddenly there's a grit all around in the air as out of rock, seemingly out of nowhere, Jaruk appears.
Which one was Jaruk? He was the dry one.
He was the dry one.
Okay.
And you also hear the sound of rushing water and this sort of like big, perfect sphere of water just splashes, and Ictiglug makes his entrance as well.
Mr. Moist!
Hi. Well done, everyone. I didn't think that could happen.
I didn't either.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think any of us did.
I had faith.
I kind of did.
Okay, well, some of us didn't.
Jaruk kind of looked at. I'm not sure really whether to be impressed or concerned that you had faith, because honestly, if you'd known, I really don't think you should have.
It's
Wow,
fair.
that's a Demon Lord. That's Pretty impressive, I suppose.
Well, to put it simply, I'm not that smart and I like violence.
Don't we all? Well, seems I have a wish to grant.
You do. Uh-oh.
Icty Glug kind of like, hey, wish. What the fuck?
I can't count very good.
You bastard. How many wishes did you promise them?
You thought
Wish-
you know what
Zara,
is
I promised
numbers?
them one.
Oh no.
No, you said 2. I thought you said 2.
Pretty sure you did.
Roll
thought
for gaslighting.
I feel uncomfortable with that, but okay.
Roll a deception check. Roll for gaslighting.
Okay. Bless doesn't apply to ability checks, right?
Does Zan get advantage because I'm helping?
Oh, I was asking you.
Oh, me.
You said it
Do
first,
I get
my love.
advantage?
I
You
agreed
did.
with you, but you said it first.
Roll.
I get advantage
You
with
can
my
roll with
deception?
advantage because Zan is helping you, but you're
Okay.
rolling deception.
Okay.
A whole +1, you guys.
We definitely, yeah.
Natural 20.
Oh
Stop.
my god.
What a wonderful way to end the game.
Oh,
Does my weasel get a wish?
Rook just kind of like stares at you. What?
This is when her friend comes in.
Did I really?
You did.
Zan just shrugs.
I have a wonderful memory. It's actually awful, but I'm really 100% sure.
I'm gonna elbow her now and be like, okay, that's enough.
I must have been out of my goddamn mind.
You did good. That's
I
enough.
promised it to you. There are laws. I have to obey them. Promise wishes. I got to fulfill. So fine.
I know what I want my wish to be.
Oh boy.
Can I wish for my weasel to be immortal?
Ha!
It's supposed to go away at the next dawn, and I feel like that's a shame because it also survived the encounter, and I don't want it to go away.
I suppose. Weasel is there. Looks entirely unchanged, but it is there.
Wonderful.
Oh.
I'm going to live for another like 400 years, and now this weasel will too. That's it. That's all I wanted.
Who's next?
So what was your plan for before the weasel?
I didn't expect to get a wish, so that was pretty much it.
See, we take it one step at a time over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Oh, chop, time is money. Who's next?
Did any of you think about it either?
To
I
the
know
victor
it.
goes the spoils. Like to Adrian.
I feel like mine should be last, probably, just because it'll involve all of us leaving.
I think we're promised that anyway. I wouldn't waste that.
Well, they had to wish us here, so my assumption was we had to be wished out.
That's a really good point. What's your plan for getting us out of here? You
Yes,
two?
no, I agree now.
Well, you have wishes.
Yeah, that's what I was
Look,
afraid
if we're
of.
expending all of them, I mean, let's be real. We have a limited amount.
That's fair enough.
We do
Yeah,
also
we
get
should
an extra
buy-
one now. There are 5
buy.
total wishes, so
We can grant 3 at a time. I used one just to get you here.
Oh my god.
We're spent.
No.
So
Okay.
mine is going to be to wish us all home. So
but I thought we had 5 total.
We,
so
we
could-
do have 5, so we
Alright,
have a
see
spare.
ya.
Ah!
So is that it then?
50 Glug just kind of, wherever you are, wherever you call home, whatever tavern, castle maybe, depending on the adventures of your caliber, whatever you call home, you appear at. Jaruk is nowhere to be seen, but you hear the sound of trickling water as Ikti Glug kind of like raises up from the ground. It's really just like sort of like a puddle that sort of reverse rains into the shape of Ikti Glug.
Gross.
You're lucky I'm such a nice guy. That really could have gone wrong for you.
You're wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Moy.
Thank you.
Also, I get the distinct impression that Jaruk sent me here on purpose. But joke's on him. I'm here, and he's on the ground.
That's true. You made it out. Congratulations.
No,
See,
fucker.
it all worked out in the end. Oh my God, did they Slad come with us?
No, Slot did not come with
Oh fuck! I'm so sorry, you guys. Looking at the control gems, can you hear me? I'm really so. Ah shit. I mean, look, to be completely clear, I'm not spending my wish on you, but I am really sorry.
Well, there are 3 wishes left. That means 1 for you, points to Veal. 1 for you, points to Zan. And 1 for you. And he looks directly at the weasel.
Yes.
I can speak to animals.
That's where we have to. That's such a good ending.
All right, that's where we're ending then. That's where we're ending.
That's amazing.
An immortal weasel
Granted a wish.
is about to get a wish, you guys.
1 wish.
That's such a good ending.
All right. Well,
Perfect.
that went a lot better than I expected. Somehow you all survived.
Oh, the only thing I contributed was the weasel.
I mean, hey, you rode with it. You really rode with it. I mean, that I gotta give you some respect there.
I mean, I ain't mad about the weasel.
Well, it's immortal, so we can like co-parent it, I guess. We just like trade it. We can flat Stanley it and just like
Yes.
I mean,
to everyone, no matter where we go.
I mean, Adrian doesn't want a weasel.
I love that.
It's gonna
Well,
be
that's too bad because now Adrian has a weasel.
I guess. It's your turn, Adrian. What do I do?
invincible. You literally can't do anything to it. It's fine.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
if you like your weasel as the drowned wet rat variety, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
It can't drown. It's fine. Also, can we talk about the paladin doing all of that damage?
Yes.
Literally, almost single-handedly killing. Like,
Really, what saved you were those 3
Okay.
natural 20s because you got 1 too, Zan, didn't you?
yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing that kept you alive.
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple of really big hits. If we hadn't had that, I don't think we would have pulled it out.
Yeah.
That was wonderful. Hell yeah, sir.
Paladins, man.
That's
All
right.
So we we'll introduce each other. No, we're introducing ourselves. I don't know enough about you guys to introduce you. We'll introduce ourselves one last time as we sign out. But before we do that, Eugenio, do you want to talk a little bit more about seat at the table?
Yeah, so as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, we are currently partnering with A Seat at the Table. Seat at the Table is an online magazine striving to amplify the voices of women, LGBTQ plus individuals, people of color, and disabled gamers in the tabletop industry. They are getting ready to release their first issue. I just realized I was about to tell you about how to submit for that first issue, but those submissions closed 2 days ago, so sorry. But you can definitely check them out and what they're all about at their website, www.asatt magazine.com, or you can go to their Twitter at @ASATT_magazine. I am linking their website and their Twitter in the chat, if I can do this without screwing it up. There we go. So those links are in the chat. They're awesome, and we're super excited that they reached out to us and asked us to promote their upcoming issue, and they're also going to do a little promotion for us in their magazine and on their website as well. So check them out, A Seat at the Table magazine.
All right. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves one last time, talk about where you can find each other on the internet and what neat and rad things we're going to be up to in the near and or immediate future. My name is Alex. I play here on Variant Roles on Saturday nights in our Invisible Sun game, which is super great and wonderful. I will be planning to run a 5e game set in Ravnica over the summer.
Yeah.
And ideally, I will also attempt to show up for the finale of Mad Mage for the last level because I really want to play in that. You can find me on Twitter at AxolotlCure, and I'm really glad that all of you wonderful people, came out to watch us. So filled with joy that you enjoyed my second attempt at streaming D&D. And let's
good.
pass it off to reverse order. Let's go to Eugenio.
Yeah, hey everybody. I am Eugenio, also known as your friendly neighborhood dungeon master DM Jazzy Hands, dungeon master of the actual play podcast, The Last Refuge. We just released another episode today. You can check us out at our website, dndlastrefuge.com. Follow us on Twitter at dndlastrefuge. You can follow me on Twitter at dmjazzyhands. What do I have coming up? I am going to be running a level of Mad Mage starting on Saturday. I think you have maybe another day that you can apply to play with me on the next couple of Saturdays to do one of the levels here in Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Check out the Variant Roles Twitter for that application form. Next Friday, if you all aren't doing anything at about like 3 or 4 p.m. Eastern, you should go to twitch.tv/DND. I'm going to be interviewed on Dragon Talk on the DND Twitch channel. So you should pop into the chat and say hi because I'm super excited about that. I'm going to be in LA at D&D Live 2019, The Descent, in May to announce the fall storyline. So you can also check out my games streamed there. And yeah, that's what's coming up soon. I'm also going to be in the Ravnica game with Alex, and I'm super excited. And I think Zan's wish might be to be transported with no memory and less power to some other universe. Like, I don't know, maybe one that's like the whole world is a city or something.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That would be so great. That would really be great.
It would make me really happy. So we shall see. Anyway, yeah. Check out my Twitter for everywhere that I'm going to be. Thanks for watching tonight.
All right, Bria.
Hey, I'm Bria. You can find me on Twitter at Artemis Boyd. Also here on Twitch, but I don't stream. I just lurk places. I really love this game. This is my first chance to get to play with Alex in general and Alex as DM. First chance to get to play with Eugenio, and I made some new friends. So hi guys.
Yeah, you did. Hello, friend.
Yeah. I don't get to do this a lot. This is actually my first D&D stream ever. So thanks for this experience. Next week, I will be attempting to try my hand at playing in an all-Spanish campaign. So that's fun. That's a fun thing to look forward to. And pretty much just lurk on Twitter. I don't do a whole lot. Hope to be available for some campaigns in the future. Whether they're with friends or signups, we'll see how things go. But I'm always just down to play D&D, hang out with friends, make new friends.
All right, wonderful. Zach, what do you got?
Hi, I'm Zach. Thank you to everybody for watching us in this crazy stress roller coaster of a night. I'm on Twitter at Sir Gorals. What's next for me? I don't really know right now. Watching Eugenio on Dragon Talks because I have Friday off.
Yeah.
And then I don't really know. Hopefully I will find spots on future Variant Roles streams because these people are really awesome and I feel really lucky to get to be part of this community. And I would like to try my own hand at streaming, as I'm also kind of new. This is only my second live streamed game I've ever been a part of, but it's really fun. And I would like to do it too. So that's what's up for me.
Not to be Eugenio's plug, but please listen to The Last Refuge.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Hey, if you're going to plug anyone, definitely plug Eugenio.
Oh, thanks, guys.
And Kate, of course.
Hi, I'm Kate. You can find me on Twitter and everywhere else important at Very Pale Ale. And I am a regular player on the actual play Twitch stream, Open for Adventure. You can follow us on Twitter at Open for Adventure or on Twitch at Open for Adventure. And this was my first Variant Roles game. And guess what? You guys just stuck with me. I had a wonderful time. Yay. You will see me again somehow in some way. It'll be a great time. And thank you very much for letting me join y'all. This was a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Awesome.
I had a great time facilitating the crossover episode as well.
And now I hope that this immortal weasel, this unnamed immortal weasel, shows up somewhere, somehow, eventually.
so
Everywhere.
happy
Level
about
spell,
that.
guys.
Just you wait. I'm gonna like message your DM on like Twitter or something. Be like, hey,
Yes.
I've got an
Please.
immortal weasel who has a wish. What can we do?
Let this immortal weasel live on somehow, somewhere in other streams.
Yes,
There's no name. It can be whatever you want, however you want. Just a random weasel.
Stream hopping weasel. It's gonna show up in Ravnica, no doubt.
Yes.
Please, if Zan shows up, let Zan have this suspicious. But this was wonderful. Thank you very much. Alex, you did fantastic.
Yes,
Yes,
you did.
yeah, that was awesome.
Such a good job for your first streaming DM thing.
I never would have known this was the first time you'd done this live.
Totally.
Absolutely not. I had no idea.
Oh, thanks, guys. So yeah, that's all we got for tonight. I hope everyone in the audience had as wonderful a time as I did streaming, and as it seems that our players did playing. I hope to see you again for further levels of Dungeon of the Mad Mage, or possibly playing through parts of Ghosts of Saltmarsh when that comes out in May.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that. I will definitely.
Yeah,
Right.
we've got some ideas and some plans to do some community games around that once it comes out. So keep an eye. I linked all of our Twitters and the Variant Roles Twitter and Patreon in the chat. So keep an eye on all of that stuff to hear about more opportunities.
All right, and I think that's all we have together. So yeah, good night, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful weekend coming up, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys. Good night.